Hey everybody! Welcome to the show. This is Timeless Gamer, where the games and gamers grow older, where the gaming experiences will forever remain timeless. Your weekend podcast show brought to you by the beautiful people of Pinoy Retro Gaming. Hello everybody, and it's a very star-studded cast for tonight, guys. And we're going to talk about a very special decade, the 80s. In very particular, the toys of the 80s. But forget about that. Let's focus more about the show. For our archive videos, you can still catch our show by going to the Facebook page of Pinoy Retro Gaming or by just going to the YouTube channel of Timeless Gamer. It's Timeless Gamer PRG, by the way. Or you can just listen to our audio format. They're all available on Spotify, iTunes, all that stuff. Like they are so available out there, guys. So just check them out. And so previously on Timeless Gamer, so we were. So what did we talk about the last time that we did Timeless Gamer, Sir Joel? I can't remember.
I'm sorry, my mind's just completely out of it right now because of what just happened. If for those of you in the audio podcast, I can't even begin to describe it. You guys are just gonna have to watch the live or the replay because honestly, I can't even think straight right now with what I'm seeing. But go ahead, Joe.
Yes. We did talk about uh, gaming under COVID, the COVID
Yes,
lockdown. Such
that
a
was it.
terrible 2 years um, of COVID lockdown. So all of the panels talked about what they did during the during the 2 years of COVID lockdown. What games that made us not go insane during the 2 years of COVID lockdown. So for tonight, like we mentioned, it's all about the 80s. Like can you tell? So
Yes.
for tonight, of course, we got Sir JDM, Sir JDM, Sir 1, 2, 3, go retro.
Hello guys, good evening and welcome back to Timeless Gamer. And here's one of your hosts, inspired by Francis Reyes of the Dawn, 80s look,
Nice.
Kala ko si
Excellent.
Bang
Juan
Tay.
De Marcos. Ayan.
Sir
And
JD.
welcome to the 80s.
Yes.
Welcome to the 80s, and of
New
course,
wave is back.
and welcoming. Very rare that we have this very handsome person here in the show. Sir Tito Papai.
Yeah. What's up?
This is Macho Man Red Savage. 1980 World Heavyweight Champion.
Ba't may dami?
Kulang na lang belt eh. Belt na lang kulang.
Oh.
Wala. Hindi sumobra.
Nakatabless yan, Boss Jeff.
All right, I'm sure that's your point. And another another rare Pokemon here in the show, Mr. Master Gel, Freeborn Gaming.
Hello. Ayan. It's good to be back sa Timeless Gamers. Ayan.
All right, thank you for that, Master J. And of course, representing Retro Freak Gaming, Sir Ray.
Hindi ka nakalbo.
Wala na nakatulog eh.
Ako kalbo. I already have hair. So, ayan. Ayan. And I'm representing right now studio.ph. Wala muna tayong stream. Focusing on my business. So, ayan. Studio.ph.
Yeah, boy. Thank you for that, Sir Ray. And of course, coming from 1985, Back to the Future, Mr. Martin McFly right here. So, Joe Marot.
Hey, what's up? What's up sa inyo? Welcome back. And then, at saka salamat ulit at nakabalik tayo rito sa TG. Papagsamahin natin ang part 1 and part 2 ngayon. Kaya,
Yeah, there you go.
Welcome back to the future.
1 and 2.
Welcome
Yes.
Welcome back to the future. Marty.
yung shoes kasi kailangan ng kasama
What? Yung shoes
yung
now.
shoes, ito yung shoes eh.
What? Laki okay.
Oh, of course.
Pag nasa meeting ka lang, yung pantas mo lang yung maayos.
Like I said, during the time of lockdown,
Bitin. Kulang sa budget.
Alright.
Nasa COVID times pa rin si Sir Jomar.
Okay.
Naka-short pa din sa pambaba.
Oh my God. I mean,
And
kung
thank you
sinuswerte
for
tayo,
that,
may
Sir
shorts
Joe Marot.
anyway.
And
Thank
another
you.
special guest in the show, coming from one of our friends from the G3 podcast crew, and also one of the hosts of the show GTFO,
Mhm.
Sir Charles.
Hello
Good
everyone.
master of G3.
Thank you sa pag-invite sa Timeless Gamers. It's always a pleasure to be part of the PRG stream. Sobrang nakaka-enjoy. As you can see, everyone, give them a follow, give them a like. This will be a very interesting episode today and ang daming interesting na pag-uusapan.
Para mag-uusap pa tayo sa Voltes 5. Tapos na eh.
Yes.
Binubudol na po ako, hindi pa po kami tapos mag-episode. Nambubudol na po.
Alam ko matatapos na nga yung series eh. Yung legacy.
Tapos na yung series pero hindi pa tapos yung chismis.
Oh, yeah.
Ayaw pa rin mamatay.
And of
May
course,
season
the
two
one.
yun.
All right. So thank you for that, Sir Charles, and the one leading for the show for this evening, coming all the way from New Jersey, Sir Banyagang native, Sir Joe.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whoever you are, wherever you are. Very, very happy that you're here and making sure that everybody's having a great time. For those of you in the audio podcast, I'm absolutely sure you guys are going to enjoy what we have for today. Here in the visual portion of the podcast, you're already enjoying because of all our antics, and you can see what we're doing. Stick around. Make sure that you interact with us in the chats. Make sure that you tell us what you think and what you remember, how you feel, and let's have a great time.
All right. Thank you for that, Sir
Nice.
Joe. And of course, it's me. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Jem.
The GOAT.
Hi, guys. So
The GOAT.
all about the 80s. All about the 80s. Every once in a while, we have to commit into something, right?
Yes.
All right.
The things we do for the show.
Yeah, the things we do for the show.
For the show.
Play sa utak ko yung ano.
Honestly,
For the show.
I was completely blown away by the dedication that Joe is showing for this show. There you go.
Actually,
The
may
things that you
hawak
do-
na song,
that
nagpe-play
You
na sa
do for
utak ko.
views, man.
Yes.
The things we do for the clicks. Right.
Yeah.
I would also like to thank my my hair and makeup, my wife.
Yeah.
Very supportive boy.
According to her, this is grounds for divorce. But I can still find
Risking
myself a
everything
man.
for the podcast right there. That's
Absolutely,
dedication.
yes. That is dedication. Yes.
I got my synergy earrings right here.
Oh my
Showtime synergy. All right.
Even the earrings. You have to admire the absolute and complete
Jesus
dedication that Joe is
Christ.
I
showing.
got earrings.
Absolutely. If you for those in the audio podcast, you might not be understanding why we're having such a great time here. Joe has shown his dedication by dressing up as Jem of Jem and the Holograms, the Jem cartoon show from back in the 80s, complete with the pink
All
wig.
right.
There you go.
Let's give it to Sir Charles. Sir Charles, can you say hi to the chat-a-tat-tat? How are you all doing down there
Yeah.
at the backbone of the show? So who's down there, Sir Charles?
Sabi ni Romel Buencillo, hi Ma'am Jonah. Hello. Ayan.
Jem. Hi.
Sabi ni Bell, what the heck?
There you go.
Sabi ng Retro Gaming Times.
Yari tayo, galit si Bossing. Yan, agot tayo.
Hindi po alam ni Sir Bell na ganito po ang show tonight. Okay. Hindi namin sinabi sa kanya to.
No. Wait, this is a complete surprise. Go ahead.
Ano yan?
Ayan. Tropa natin pala yan, si Jomel Chua, one of the partners here sa Swapmeet community.
Nice.
Thank you, paring Jomel, sa panonood. Ayan, isa din siya sa mga collectors natin dito sa UAE. He's the guy when it comes to the 80s toys. He collects TMNT, the new releases. May surprise, di ko alam.
Here comes the new challenger.
May surprise guest.
Ano? Pag-usapan na naman.
Robots, Ninja Robots.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So, Sir Noah, say hi to the show. Say hi to
Hi
the fans.
guys. Hi guys. Ano, tutuloy pa ba natin to? Tutuloy pa ba natin? Bigyan mo sinabi kasama natin si Jem.
Mm-mm.
Hi, Jem.
Or
Wala
there
din
you go.
nag-expect eh.
Crush kita nung 1992.
Crush kita.
There you go.
Oo,
At
pinalabas
least-
siya sa ABS.
At least ngayon alam na niya. Na-crush mo siya.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
That's so sweet. Thank you, Rio.
Tonight, promise.
All right. So we will now give it to Sir Joel. So let's get this show on the road. Okay. Although it's not always that you'll see all of these people right here, guys. So take a picture already. All right. So it's showtime, Sir Joel. Take it away.
Sergio,
Yeah.
Sergio, na-starstruck kasi ako sa'yo. Akala
Oo
ko
nga,
talaga
yun
si
nga
Benny
eh.
Flores yung pero talaga, kanina ko pa iniisip.
Laki ya.
You know what? Actually, itong damit ng kasawa ko, ito na yung pinakamalaking damit niya eh. So, go, okay, as long as magkasya, go. I don't care anong kulay yan, go.
Oh my God.
Anyhow,
All right.
Sir Joel, take it away.
All right. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Timeless Gamer Podcast episode featuring toys from the 1980s. All right. So let's first define some parameters. What can be classified as 80s toys? 80s toys are things that were sold back in the 80s that everybody played with. It doesn't have to be anything electronic. It can be something offline. It can be something as simple as a stick on and that you formed into a gun. That's perfectly fine. Fair warning sa mga audience natin ngayon, papalit-palit tayo. Normally English tayo, pero ngayon we have a lot of Tagalog in our conversation, but I'll do my very best to translate it for our international audience. Okay, generally toys. Ang parameters natin ngayon is toys from the era of 1980 to 1989. So lahat ng mga toys na nilaro mo mula noong 1989 to 1989, pero or flexible. Hahayaan natin na umabot from 1978 to 1991 basta importante to the 80s. Of course, the 80s was the decade of excess, was the decade of joy, happiness, and discovery. So lahat yan ifa-factor in natin. It can be toys, it can be board games, it can be card games, it can be action figures, it can be gadgets. Lahat fair game. So these are the things that we are going to be talking about for this episode. Importante sa atin na malaman ng mga audience. It's very important for the audience to know that these were formative to our growing up. Importante sa ating habang lumalaki itong mga bagay na to. So, let's start it off with a quick question to the panel. Were toys important to your growing up, to your childhood? Mabilisan lang, one or two sentences per person. Sandali, kailangan tanggalin ko ng aking salamin dahil hindi ko mabasa ang mga ang mga nasa
Kung sa G3 meron kaming mic dito sa may banyagang native. No?
Yes, of course. There you go.
Madonna,
Madonna. Let's ask Raymond first. I know hindi masyado kang bata para ma-realize, para ma-experience firsthand yung 80s toys. Pero was it something na na-experience mo growing up dahil sa mga hand-me-downs mo? Raymond, come on up.
Well, by the way, magandang gabi. When I was a kid, mga around 90s na rin kasi 80s going to 90s, sabihin na natin ganun. Hindi pa rin kasi kami ganun wala pa kaming masyadong money involved. So ang ginagawa ng mother ko is yung Pinoy toys lang. So basically, you have turumpo, you have yoyo, and you have sungka. Tapos you have lato-lato, old lato-lato if you remember. And then yung mga text na maliliit. So yung tatlong pinaka-importante sa akin that kung mamarapatin Tito Joel is first the turumpo.
Yes.
Kasi the turumpo was ginawa kasi ng tatay ko that time. So handmade siya. And then the one thing is yoyo. I have the yoyo and I have some tricks. Doon ako natuto mag-tricks.
Nice.
And the last one is yung pinaka-cheapest. It's text. Yung may mga comic book, may mga comics, if you remember. So, yun.
Alright, nice.
Mga
Pinaman mo naman?
Wala ako masyado eh. Kasi,
hindi.
Ang yaman mo, ang yaman.
Ha?
Mayaman ka.
Pero significant para kay Raymond 'yon dahil homemade, handmade yung yung mga laruan niya
Handmade
dati.
yun. So,
Mhm.
internationally, wala pa kasi kami nun. We have have the kaching-kaching that time. Kasi that
yeah.
time, di ba, alam naman
Inadobo
natin
din
na-
ba ng mama mo yung text mo?
Nasay mo. Oy,
Sinabawang text.
Oy, same.
Sinabawang text,
Di
ano
adobo,
ko,
ah.
pinakain sa akin.
Mm.
Di ba?
Yan.
Alright. That's
From
it.
one of the youngsters in the panel, let's move on to one of the more seasoned veterans. Yan. Boss Jeff, Tito Popoy, let me ask you.
Ay, maraming alam to.
Ayun. May tanong natin.
Era specific.
Actually, si Raymond, mayaman yan. Oh, mayaman.
Mm.
Nakakatuloy.
Yaman pa.
Trompo ng yoyo. May pinaglalaro, ang laruan namin nung araw, putek. Alam mo yung truck na nagde-deliver ng construction na buhangin. Alam mo yun?
Yeah.
Di ba nilalagay
Di ba
yun sa
grass?
kalsada?
Ah,
Nagawa namin
yun,
kuweba yun.
Graba na yun eh.
Nagawa namin kuweba yun. Oo.
Tama ka na,
Oh,
Robocop.
actually, tapos pag may pera kami, pag may pera kami, alam mo yung chicheria, yung may free.
Oo.
Chicheria, pag bumili ka ng tig-piso, may free yun eh.
May free
na
yung sa loob.
action figure na purong goma.
Purong
Ah.
goma.
Hindi mo mabenta.
Plastic.
Kaya
Tama,
abnormal tayo lahat lumaki nung kinakain
Oo nga,
namin
eh.
yung goma eh.
Tapos,
I agree. Oo.
Hindi, may tanong ako sa Tito
Tapos-
Popoy eh.
May
Ang sabi mo kasi buwangin o putik, di ba? Paano mo
Mm.
malalaman kung generation 1 yun o generation 2 yung putik na nalagay?
wala kami
Transformers.
sa pagdating ng truck doon at binabayon, wala na, yari na sa amin yun. May mga
Walang
na kami, nagagawa na kaming kalsada doon, daanan ng kotse-kotsehan namin, yung mga
Mhm.
matchbox na mumurahin, yun.
Mhm.
Doon
Yes.
kami naglalaro. Pero
There you
yung binili talaga ng nanay ko sa akin na laruan na talagang pinagtuunan kong pansin is yung text.
I see. Okay. Text cards,
saka Jolene.
importante
Kasi
yun dati.
yung text pinakain sa akin ng nanay ko yun. Kasi isang isang Tupperware yun. Isang Tupperware yun. Tapos yung meron kang isang atudo na mahal mo.
Mhm.
Yung mahal
Di ba
na mahal
lata
mo yung
ng
pato na
Skyflex?
yun, Ayaw mo bitawan
Lata
sa
ng
katawan.
Skyflex. Oo. That's true. Yun yung mga panahon ng mga lata ng Skyflex.
Yes, correct.
Mas matibay.
Saka yung
Ayan.
nabibili
There you
sa
go.
terminal ng bus na yung nabibili sa terminal na bus ng lata, ng biskwit,
Mhm.
yun.
Mm.
Doon namin nilalagay yung mga laruan namin. O kahit sobrang dumi ng Jolene, lalagay mo doon kasi wala ka ibang paglalagyan. Well, yun ang Pero the G.I. Joe, nagkaroon ako G.I. Joe, siguro mga high school na ako.
Mhm. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Ang yaman, may G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe nung high school. Yeah, oo. Ito, ngayon,
Maganda na trabaho ng mama ko na sa office na siya nagtatrabaho eh. Dati kasi hindi siya sa office, conductor siya sa bus.
Oh, nice. Okay na rin. Okay na rin yun. At least well-traveled siya. Marami siya mga narating, di ba? Ayun. Ayun. So, from our veteran, let's jump to one of our special guests. I'd like to talk to Notch about this. Notch of G3. I'd like to bring him up and ask him, ano ang personal experience mo sa mga 80s toys? Was it something na
Mayaman
naranasan
yan,
mo sa
Tito
mga
Joel.
hand-me-down? Or was it
Nakatikim
something
yan ng
na,
puso
na
text.
ngayon lang mo lang nalalaman? Tell us about it. Sige, Notch.
Hinihintay ko kasi si Tito Joel sabihin sa akin, isa sa mga bata ng G3.
Of course.
Ulol!
Wag mong gawing sinungaling si Tito Joel.
Huwag kang
Kahit G3 ako,
noo mo.
kahit taga G3 ako, ilabas mo yung hairline mo.
Yun. There you go.
Tumigil ka.
Be
Ah, sige,
proud
let's
of your
hear-
hairline, dude.
Guys, oy Lee, mahiya ka. Hindi, wala tayo sa...
Ay, sorry.
Guess lang tayo. So, dapat
Sige, sige.
tayo, tayo.
Let's hear what Notch has to say.
Aside from the usual yung mga text, yung mga Jolen, alam nyo ba yung mga... Sa Brunei kasi ako guys lumaki, no? Most of my childhood, sa Brunei ako.
Uy.
So,
Okay.
sa Pilipinas, nagte-text ako, nag-Jolen ako. Pero pagdating sa Brunei, ang usual nilalaro namin talaga is yung fruit ng rubber tree. Ang fruit ng rubber tree, ano yan parang matigas na case yan. Ang ginagawa namin dyan, binubutas namin yon, tapos nilalagyan namin ng candle wax. Tapos papatigasin. May mga candle wax pa na matitigas, like yung mga red na candles, tumitigas yun. Ang ginagawa namin, isusuksok namin yung rubber fruit dito sa gitna. Tapos maghahampasan kami ng rubber fruit. Kung basagan yun basagan yun ng bola. Basagan.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, very very aggressive childhood. No.
Oh.
Hindi ko alam.
Ako pag nakipagsuntukan ako, talagang parang Dragon Ball. Medyo aggressive tayo bata.
Well, what can I say? Yun yung mga panahon mga bata tayo, marami tayong energy at saka hindi natin talaga hindi natin iniisip na pigilan ang sarili natin dahil enjoy tayo ng todo-todo nun di ba?
Pwede ba magdagdag isa pa?
Go ahead, absolutely.
Tatlo.
It's not, hindi tatlo ba? Kasi hindi ito medyo unconventional yung mga naging toys ko. Alam niyo yung ball pen na, yung fine pen, di ba natutupi yung parang bakal nun.
Yes.
Sa cover niya. So, ginagawa namin before, pagandahan kami nun. So, nagkakaroon kami 2 horns, minsan 3. Tapos, ang ginagawa namin, nag-aampasan kami ng ball pen. Palakasan ng ampas. Pahulugan sa table.
Is that really a toy o yung pang bully mo?
alam mo kung ano susunod dyan, yung panyuna. Yung
Hindi. Ganyan talaga kami maglaro. Ganun talaga yung mga usual na laro.
Ang tawag doon, mechanical weapon.
Sabi ko nga, di ba, unconventional Kasi ayoko lang ikwento yung mga Tex at Jolin kasi nagsabi nyo na lahat yun
Okay lang yun. Okay lang yun.
Normal lang
Isa yun sa mga no?
Yung boys na may picture, hindi mo sinabi.
Actually, that's really unconventional. Kasi pang brutal yung laruan mo
Kasi ang modern terminology dyan para dyan, Notch, is hazing. Hazing ang tawag doon.
Kami, guys, yun lang naman kung anong makuha namin, yun lang.
Naman.
Just to follow up on that, Tito, no?
Yes.
Sa mga panel natin. That's one thing that I admire from that era. Na nung time ng 80s, especially with the Filipinos, napaka-creative natin when it comes to toys because we didn't have anything that is with the US Sobrang creative ng mga bata when it comes to that era from the 70s to 80s, I believe. Na they create their own toys from the trumpo, lato-lato.
Yeah.
You know, yung tirador, yung mga laruan na yun, it wasn't even created by any company. It was created by necessity And that's something that I admire from the old generation that I wish the newer generation has.
Hindi ko pa binabanggit yung sumpit ko
Kaya yung
kukuha ka ng matapusa, di ba? Matapusa, tabundo.
Pang Cold War yung
kung ano meron ka dati.
Cold War.
pero puro weapon yung mga laruan dati.
Yung gusto ng mga older generation nagsasakitan ng konti. Medyo brutal.
Cold War kasi nung 80s.
Relax ka lang sa older generation paluin kita sa puwet
Kaya kami naglalaro sa buhangin kasi nagbi-build kami ng tunnel, no? Hindi kami nananakit. So we're building
pagalingan lang naman kami gumawa.
For those of you in the audience right now, inamin ni Boss Jeff na Vietcong siya dati. Okay.
70s yun.
There you go. Excellent. From Palitz, we will now jump to the man from the South, JDM. I'd like to ask you, JDM Juan de Marcos, what your experience was. Alam ko you're way too young to have experienced it firsthand, but down in the South, what was the general feel of toys from the 80s and going forward?
Actually, I was born in Mandaluyong, tapos tumira kami ng Makati, early years ko. Halos ganun na din sa nasabi nila. Pero kasi ako dati, nung bata pa ako, hindi pa ako masyadong pinapalabas sa ng mga parents ko. So, bumibili sila ng mga toys, tapos yun talaga yung ano parang nag parang nag-enhance ng imagination ko yung mga toys. Kasi you can build anything. Marami kang ano, kahit kunwari robot yan, pwedeng ano, may maiisip at may maiisip ka talagang pwedeng gawin na parang alternative na ano, kunwari sasakyan siya or ganun. Ano siya, parang na-enhance talaga yung imagination mo through toys. And especially if ano, pag may mga pinsan ako na bumibisita, nagagawin pa kami sa mga laruan nun naghihila. Parang nagtatag of war kami nung ano, tinatag of war namin yung Ninja Turtles ko dati. Natanggal yung ulo ni ano, ni Donatello. Pero it was a great time.
So yung Barbie, naging robot.
Oh yes, oo.
Oo,
Dahil
pwede ganun.
naghahalo-halo na yun.
Kasi may kapatid akong babae.
Mhm.
So, kung ano yung mga toys niya, yun din yung mga nilalaro ko. Pero, okay lang naman kasi at least may kami, may bonding moment kami. Kahit mga yung mga house, ay yung mga dollhouse, ganun.
Yes. Very
Hindi
true.
naman,
Very true.
hindi ka naman nag-convert.
Ay, hindi naman. Buti na. Maging
Doon yung usapan, kalbo.
Depende kasi kung paano niya gamitin yung
May mga
Barbie.
mag-iinit
Oh yeah,
dito.
that's true. Oo nga.
hindi naman ako yung yung nagde-dress up na ng yung mga paper dolls. Pinapanood ko lang yung ate ko pero hindi naman yung ako mismo yung talaga nagpapalit ng
Pero
Buti nang malinaw.
Oo. Ayan.
Ay, nako, that's funny. Pero hindi, JDM, that is, that's the nice thing about toys from the 80s. Sure, there were defined gender roles. May mga panlalaki, may mga pambabae. Pero pwede pa rin nating laruin kung ano man yung mga laruan na nandoon.
Yes.
Exactly. I mean, it was part of our creative process. It helped develop our brains, as JDM did say. And it helped develop more importantly, yung mga imagination natin.
At least na, habang maaga pa napapag-aaralan mo na yung human anatomy, di ba?
That's
Sa
true.
mga Barbie and
Binubuksan mo ba yung Barbie ng pag-ganon?
Oo naman. Of course. Absolutely.
Pinipilit mo ba yung ilalim?
Of course. Yes. Because, I mean, learning process, di ba? Bringing back it, Palitz might have mentioned a little bit earlier. I'd like to hear a little bit more from him regarding his thoughts on the matter about how 80s toys might have been way back when and how it helped develop our imaginations and our thought processes of today. A little bit of your insights, Palitz.
Hindi ako nagkaroon talaga ng first-hand experience since I was born 1992 already. So it's not considered. So the earliest thing that I remember na nagkaroon ako ng experience with the 80s toys is with the Atari. So I could never forget it. Yung family or yung pinsan ko from the US, they were born in the US. So pagka may mga hand-me-down sila, so pagka pumupunta kami ng probinsya, specifically was Tarlac, dinala nila yung Atari. Siyempre, probinsya yun at the time nung late 1996 or 1997. I could never forget that experience. Dinala kami nung mother ko doon, nagbakasyon kami. Tapos nilabas niya yung Atari niya. Siyempre, yung mga tao, since probinsya, wala mga ganong electric gadgets. Nung nakita ng mga tao yun, parang lahat nanonood. And considering it's an Atari, I would never forget that experience. That's why I got into retro gaming. And I think that's the earliest memory that I have na talagang 80s, like solid 80s na item that I experienced firsthand. But anything else, I think everyone said it. The best thing was yung trompo na experience ko firsthand. Yung text, naabutan ko pa yung mga puting text na comic talaga, yung mga comics. And the last thing would be, hindi ko alam kung ginagawa ninyo to sa inyo, yung mga tansan, tsaka yung mga palara ng sigarilyo.
Pampaso sa kalaro.
Brutal talaga. Hindi, yung ginagawa namin doon.
Kalaro.
What's palara? What's palara?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Kasi
Why not?
nakakita ko yun Nung tinuro sa akin yun sa probinsya, kaya nag-e-enjoy ako lagi sa probinsya kasi yung father ko, lumaki siya sa Makati, doon siya pinanganak.
Mm.
So, doon kami lumaki sa Makati. Kaya every time na pupunta kami ng probinsya sa Tarlac, may natututunan ako laging bago. Nakita ko yung mga bata doon. Hindi ako lumaki sa na may mga laruan kasi hindi kami mayaman. So usually hand-me-downs lang talaga. So pag pumunta kami ng Tarlac, may experience mo talaga eh. Yung mga tansan tapos maglalaro kayo ng anong tawag dito? Parang ginagawa niyo siyang currency.
Oh, yes.
Yun yung ginagawa namin. So pag Marlboro mas mahal, pagka yung mga brand ng sigarilyo iba-iba yung price pagdating doon sa palara na yun. I could never forget it. It was such a great time na galing sa 80s, nag-transcend siya to 90s to even early 2000s to be honest.
Yes. That's the nice thing about 80s toys. The concepts from the 80s carry over. Lahat ng mga naranasan natin ng mga 80s, tuloy-tuloy pa rin siya hanggang sa modern era. Umuulit-ulit siya and hindi siya nawawala. Somewhere in the back of our minds, lagi natin siyang iniisip dahil yun yung mga panahon na naging masaya tayo. Now, since Palitz did mention the USA, I'd like to bring in our correspondent from Chicago, Jomar. Ikaw, I'd like to ask kung I know you just came from the future, pero now that we're back in 1985, dyan sa yung Get Up, ikaw, ano yung naranasan mo ng mga panahon ng mga 80s going forward, ng mga favorite toys mo, and ano yung naging impact nila sa'yo?
Okay, so kasi hindi ko alam kung ano natin dito estilo natin dito kasi kumbaga papaawa ba tayo kasi nagsimula dito kay Tito Popoy, lupa, and not.
Papaawa tayo.
Wag mo lang intindihin yun, yung mga first-hand experience mo lang.
Hindi, alam ko yung ginagawa niya ni Jomar dati. Bumibili ng chocolate yan, tapos ginagawang brace yung yung kulay silver na lagis na
Hindi, ano ba? Chip Palit, sabi niya, mga paano na sigarilyo. Sige, sabihin ko, naglalaro ako ng ipis dati. Nanguhuli ako ng ipis dati nung bata ako. Para mga butike, pinuputol ko yung buntot nun. Di ba yung gumagalaw-galaw yung buntot nun?
Sino ngayon nag-agresibo? Sino ngayon ng brutal?
Sabi nga ni Dolce.
Kaya talaga mga taga-PRG, medyo brutal eh. Animal abuse.
Yeah.
Tubo naman yun.
Yes, that's true. Oo nga.
Ang hirap naman nun, sobrang haba na ng buntot. Tulungan mo naman, putulin mo.
Ang kinokolekta pala yung buntot. Yung
buntot. Pinag-usapan natin dito, laruan na.
Laruan na. Yung pinaglalaruan.
Although I do see, nakikita ko may mga laruan si Jomar sa likod. Ikwento mo kung ano yung mga interest mo particularly, Jomar.
Well, yun nga, of course, yung tayo dati rin wala naman tayo dating resource for bumili sa labas. So, yun nga, yung mga text, mga turumpo, mga ganun, yung mga Pilipino na toys talaga. Pero ang mga tumatak sa akin nun is yung nung bata ako, naalala nyo yung Spider-Man na malaki na ganyan. Pero rubber band siya, tapos meron siyang alambre sa loob para na-articulate. Yun ang naalala ko na pinakauna kong laruan na binigay pa sa akin ng mga uncle ko. Tapos pangalawa is, I don't know if you guys remember the Greatest American Hero.
Oh, yeah.
No, naman.
Holy.
Yes. Believe it or not. Yeah, right? Meron akong laruan nun.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on in
there. Yeah, there you go.
Kid, pucha, RK to, pre.
yung maliit na nun, meron ako nun yung plastic isa yun sa mga na ko dati. Actually, alam ko na yung DC, pero interesting siya kasi mga tao sa bahay mahilig magmajong. Yung sign niya rito, Flores yun Di ba? Alam niyo yung sign ni Flores siya, kaya yun ang isang laruan. And then of course, G.I. Joe at saka Transformers. Pero mas tumatak yung G.I. Joe kasi nung elementary ako sa Angelicum, lola ko, pinipilit ko, inaaway kong bumili parati sa labas noon, sa labas ng gate, ng G.I. Joe parati.
Inaaway yun.
Inaaway ko. As far as I can remember.
Mga batang sutil.
Inaaway ko.
Bilan mo ako nito.
Hindi kasi, lason din kasi nagtitinda. Every week, meron siyang bagong G.I. Joe. Like, lola,
Oh, yan.
Ah,
Kaya
tapos,
tatantrums pa yan pag di binilan.
Oo,
Oo.
tama, di ba? Yung uupo ka sa kalye, puta yun, magpapasay ka doon, mga ganon, pang 80s.
Higa ka, kunyari. Yan.
Oo, higa ka.
Oo.
Tapos, nung dati naalala ko is yung G.I. Joe noon in 75 pesos siya. Which is malaking pera na siya dati.
Malaki.
Kaya yung Transformers kasi is lahat to binibigay lang sa akin ng ng magulang ko or actually hindi pala magulang ko kasi tatay ko dati ayaw niya yan. Yung mga uncle ko, yan pucha favorite ko yan
Yan o, yan o.
Eyeshadow yan eh.
Shadow, hayop naman.
Storm Shadow.
Hayop naman eyeshadow no? Laki.
Storm Shadow.
So ayun, yun lang kasi ang
dito.
mga naging
Ay,
effect sa akin siguro niyan for the longest time is yung alam mo yung mga naging dreamer ka you dreaming to be a G.I. Joe, mga ganun. You dream to be a superhero na yun yung siguro pinakamagandang effect sa akin up to now. Meron kang ugaling ganun na you help someone, mga ganon. Siguro kung wala yung mga yon, malamang iba. Kunyari, gusto mo mga super villains, malamang sira ulo ka ngayon. Mga tipong ganyan. Bata ko, di ba?
Kasi dahil parang pangit yung logic ni Tito Jomar.
Okay.
Ano lang, sample lang. Kasi syempre, kung...
Medyo baluktot.
Medyo baluktot siya.
Go ahead, Jomar.
May ka-classmate talaga ako. Ang gusto talaga niya is yung mga kalaban parate sa mga cartoons, sa mga animes. Sabi ko sa'yo, brutal siya pagdating ng high school
So, goons siya.
Bully, goons talaga Oo, sabi ko, hype to
Pero yun na nga, kasi in-identify niya yung sarili niya ron sa mga villains talaga. Dahil nakikita niya yung mga galawan ng villains, yun yung pinaka na-identify niya ng mga emotions niya, bale, di ba? Ng mga panahon na yun.
Or kasi, baka yun kasi yung ng damdamin niya. Na talaga, kaya niya gusto yun kasi ganun siya.
Sa bagay, that's true. Sinasabi nga nila na kung ano man yung na-identify ka, yun yung pinapakita mo. Ganon, di ba? Tama. Okay, sige. Now, we would like to pass it off to one of our younger members, our younger members who is, right there smiling and just now getting into the toy scene. Yes, the Bishojo
Yung
King. There you
magbebenta
go.
sa akin ng Vulcan box na 20k.
Ayun, there you go.
Usap tayo dyan.
Walang evidence sa amin.
Bebenta daw niya yung Vulcan box 20k lang
Actually, marami pa kaming stock niyan. So, kung gusto mo i-order.
Pero hindi, Jay is right now getting into 80s toys and toys going forward na rin because he's involved in the toy industry na ngayon. Tell us a little bit about about Shuffle Emporium and what you guys do regarding toys, Jay.
Well, actually, ito kasing business na to, Tito Joel. Pag guys, nag-start siya as a passion ko lang din dahil swerte lang din ako nung bata ako na kahit papaano medyo fortunate when it comes to toys. May mga ninong ako nagre-regalo sa akin.
Mayabang to!
Kami lahat malungkot, nag-umpisa sa puti. Tapos ikaw nire-regaluhan.
Oo.
Sabi ko sa'yo Huwag na magsasalita lang ganyan. Marami magre-react dyan.
Hindi, kasi puro sad story. Dito naman tayo sa masayang story.
Tandaan mo, Jay, ikaw sumubo dyan, Ikaw.
Porke mahirap, malungkot na.
Oy, hindi yung sinabi mahirap.
Grabe to!
Ang nangyari sa atin, tayo, yung panahon natin, talagang mahirap. Yung sa kanya na.
Porke in love yan ngayon? Porke in love yan?
Pero, talaga yan.
Uy, biruin nyo kasi sabi niya, may mga ninong akong nire-regaluhan ako. So, ibig sabihin yung panahon natin, mga, walang
mga ninong ko, mahirap. Ninong namin, mahirap.
Oo.
Yung ninong ko, birthday ko, Gin yung regalo
Okay yun.
Tapos para sa kanya. Para sa
para sa kanya din.
Hindi sa'yo regalo yun, sa tatay mo.
Ituloy mo, Jay. Ituloy mo. Sige. So, you were fortunate dati na may mga
Hindi, pero-
nagre-regalo sa iyo. Okay, sige.
Pero
Go ahead.
syempre, as in kung ano lang, ang problema lang kasi talaga, tuwing minaregalo sa akin, yung hindi ko gustong ano. I'm sorry it sounded spoiled, pero syempre, kapag
That's
ano,
fine.
You are spoiled.
Kinda.
Grabe naman
Oh.
yun, sila yun.
Grabe
Si re-reject tayo.
Ba't mga dating kalbo eh?
There's a purpose kung bakit yung ayaw niya yung binibigay sa kanya. Para di na siya umulit, di ba? Hingi ka na naman ulit pag gusto mo. Uy, where's my Voltes 5 bolt in the box? So, di na. Where's the Voltes 5?
Give us an example, Jay, kung ano yung mga nire-regalo sa iyo that you weren't really fond of.
Well,
Ano yung mga
bakit
hindi mo
daw?
masyadong ano.
Yung mga
Pwede pa.
actually yung mga race car, yung mga Hot Wheels. Hindi kasi ako fan ng Hot Wheels talaga eh.
Nice.
Yung sa
Okay.
car.
Uy,
Ang
juicy.
gusto ko yung pang warfare, yung mga tangke, mga ano,
Juicy.
yung mga
Mga
sundalo.
rubber fruit.
Oo.
Bully rin pala to, bully.
Pero fortunately, meron akong natago naman dito ng parte ng ito yung isa mga significant sa akin na binigay sa akin ng ninong ko. Kasi naalala ko noon, binabalik-balikan ko siya sa toy store. Tapos kinukut-kut ko kung nasan yung figure, yung action figure. Kasi di ba sa mga G.I. Joe vehicles, merong maliliit na action figure sa gilid.
Oh, yes.
So ito yung vehicle na yun, yung Demon kung tawagin sa ano siya. Vehicle siya ni Destro. Ayan, pwede niyo
Okay.
Ayan, parte na lang siya ngayon kasi nawawala na yung iba. Ito na lang yung natira sa akin. Ayan.
Hulaan ko,
Sobrang
Jay.
yaman naman yung toys ni Jay.
Oo nga. Hulaan ko, yung tito mo ang may-ari nung toy store, no?
Hindi. Niregalo lang talaga sa akin. Hindi.
Kaya ka punta doon, hinahawakan mo nung gusto mo eh. Diba?
Hinahaplos-haplos
Para alam
eh. No?
Oo.
Okay.
Pag nagkaanak ako, ninong ka ng anak ko
Yan.
Nako, alam na. Tapos
Ay, Notch,
bibili ko
gumawa ka
ng
na.
laruan para sa'yo. Ayan.
Well, iyon. That's,
Pero
that's,
naranasan ko din naman yung sa ballpen. Yung actually, kung alam niyo yung brand ng BIC ballpen, meron sa cup kasi ng ballpen merong butas. So, ang ginagawa ko nun, tinatanggal ko yung pinaka-tube, tapos isusok-sok ko dun. Tapos, yun na yung, lalagyan ko ng paper clip sa
BIC?
ilalim para.
Big
Yun yung may
Bago
bold.
na yan eh.
Big ba yun?
Akala ko,
Ha?
Di ba?
Yun yung may,
Oh.
yun yung may bold, di ba? Yung may bold.
Ano?
hindi.
Yun, iba pa yun.
Hindi ba yun?
Hindi, BBIC yun.
yung
Ano
Iba yun, boss.
Masyado ka ng matanda. Bakit yung brand doon?
Puro ganun.
Anong brand ba yun? Basta merong butas
Yung
yung sa
matandang to, lahat na lang,
Meron-
bold eh.
Akala ko diyan ginagawa mo nun, yung binabalahan mo ng santol, tapos igagano mo sa kalaro mo.
Uy, alam ko
Ayun.
yan!
Oh,
Di ba?
Oo.
Yun, ganun, yun ang the best dyan.
Ano kasi, dahil laking lolo din ako, taong bahay lang ako. Hindi ako pinapalabas ng bahay eh.
Same.
Kaya wala
You're a
akong masyadong kalaro nun eh.
Rich kid, no? Rich kid.
Hindi.
Mga
Rich
Hindi.
kid.
Mga pinapanood
Hindi.
nito yung mga Princess Sarah. Kaya mga hindi lumalabas sa bahay. Mga Princess Sarah pinapanood niyan. Yung mga
Wala eh.
steady. Yan mga
Yun ang
pinapanood.
palabas sa umaga eh. Yun ang palabas sa
Jay
umaga.
is a
Anong
rich
gagawin
kid.
ko?
Ayaw sa
Ba't
kanyang
parang
family.
galit ka sa bata, Tito Popoy? Eh, bata ka pa rin. Ginagawa mo, may galit ka.
Para may trauma.
Bata talaga kami, kumpara sa'yo.
Halaki yan.
Pero violente kasi kami. Kaya taon labas kami.
Galit sa bata yan kasi tumanda na.
Well, wala eh. Ganyan kami yung mga matatanda. Tinitingnan naman kay mga bata. Tapos, talaga nga yung mga bata ngayon. Ganun yun.
Mas mukha kang tanda si Tito Poy kaysa sa'yo, Tito Joel.
Ay, ganun ba yun? Okay. Ayan. Pero hindi. Generally, ang experience kasi ni Jay is mostly taong bahay siya. Hindi siya masyadong pinapalabas. Hindi siya,
Rich
kaya
kid
ano,
nga kasi
kaya,
Tito Joel.
dahil baka makidnap eh, no? Pero
Ayaw
yun,
mangitim.
ayaw makitim.
Tito Joel, si Jay kasi yung tipo ng bata na ako yung galing sa labas, pupunta ako kina Jay, makikilaro ako ng family computer o makikilaro ako ng laruan. Yun yung ano kasi
Actually,
siya yung
actually,
marami
Siyempre,
na
Same.
Tito Popoy.
totoo.
Tayo yung batang kanal.
Oo.
Actually,
Ikaw lang yung batang kanal.
Actually, Kuya Poy,
Hindi
totoo
ako-
yan. Kasi, totoo yung nasabi
Tito
mo.
Boy.
Oo. Dahil
Tingnan mo
ayaw,
yung itsura
dahil
ni
ayaw kong
Tito Boy, saka
palabasin.
itsura ko.
Mhm.
Taong labas.
Kung si Jay ay takot mangitim, bakit si Raymond sobrang itim?
Nasa labas.
Takot na
Fearless. Walang takot.
Yes, ako.
Oo nga eh.
Actually, kasi ginagawa
Alam
ko
mo,
pa rin siya
tanghaling
hanggang
tapat
ngayon.
nasa labas ka at naglalaro.
Oo, yan yung
Mm.
dinatutulog
Actually,
ng tanghali.
hanggang ngayon ginagawa ko pa rin siya. I go to
Mm.
Raymond's house, doon kami naglalaro talaga. Tapos doon kami
Mm.
nag-aasaran. Like the last time na
Ganyan
naglaro
yung mga
kami
ano
NBA.
eh. Tanghalin tapat yung mga lumaking nagdanakaw na mangga.
Yeah.
Tapos, babalatan, tapos magbabarahan ng gabi.
Actually, wala nagbabantay ng puno eh.
Langya. Mga lagalag, mga sa mga halangang bituka eh. Ano ba yan? Well, in general, yung experience si Jay is meron rin mga tao, may mga segments rin talaga ng mga population natin dati na may mga kagaya ni Boss Jeff na lagalag, na mahilig sa labas, may mga tao na talagang taong bahay. Ako, aminado ako, in between ako. Madalas nasa labas ako, pero madalas nasa bahay din ako, ganon. Iba-iba talaga ang mga experiences natin, pero the nice thing about it is, yung mga toys natin came along with us. Kung nasa labas man tayo, nasa loob tayo. Yan ang masasabi ko.
Tsaka importante, Tito Joel, na kapag-share ka ng laruan sa mga kalaro mo.
Yeah.
Oh, very important.
Yung
Mga-
happiness mo,
mga ano
happiness
talaga.
mo na-share mo sa iba.
Absolutely.
Nadadamot kasi itong mga to.
Pag rich kid, okay lang mag-share.
Oh, yeah, that's
Ah.
true.
Pero hindi, yung mga ganyan yun sa family computer, pag natalo siya, uwi ka na!
Ba't ka ba
Oo,
naglaro
yan,
dito? Wala ka bang family computer? Mahirap siguro kayo.
tapos iinggitin ka, tara doon na lang tayo sa labas.
Oh, yeah.
Bahala
that's
siya
true.
dyan, ganun. Hindi
Oh,
natin
that's
yan
true.
bate. Ganun.
Oh, tama. Oo,
Ayun, huwag
yung
ka
mga
lalabas
ganun
ng
kasi
bahay mo,
usapan
abangan
eh.
ka
No?
namin. Hindi ka lalabas ng bahay mo.
Ito, from Jeremiah, I'd like to move on to one of our panelists, Miss Eileen, who sadly could not make it with well, not you, Joe, not yet. Not yet. You are yes, you are
Save the best for last.
We'll feature Jem as the very last one. But right now I'd like to read out a little bit of something from Miss Eileen, who was able to write out a little bit of something. Sadly, she couldn't join us right now. I'd like to read her piece. Being a 90s kid with a Gen X brother, I was able to experience some of the toys of the 80s. Some of the toys the 80s was able to offer for both boys and girls. For girls, what I loved was the original Polly Pocket. Ayan, like you said, Raymond, it was tiny and much smaller than what is sold these days. There are different themes to collect, and you can put the teeny dolls into different slots in one pocket. Imagine the surprise of anyone who grew up with it when Polly Pocket was one of the toys in Toy Story. Very important seminal film. And like many girls, I had Barbie dolls. I'm fortunate to have had a Barbie house and car, both with lights. Rich kid si Miss Eileen.
Rich kid.
Biglang ganun
For,
eh.
for boys, we had 80s WWF toys, wrestlers, and a ring. We had a couple of wrestlers, but I remember having Rowdy Rod Piper, and I think the Ultimate Warrior too. We'd throw all of them into Royal Rumble. Then we'd also throw our GI Joe toys. That's the nice thing about 80s toys. It doesn't matter which property you're coming from. Everybody can join in. We had TJ Bang. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. And 1990 Grunt, among others. It's amusing when they break in half and become manananggals, a winged vampire-like mythical creature in Philippine folklore that separates its torso from its lower body, that has a long tongue, feasting on fetuses, as featured in the American TV series Grimm. You can easily fix that with a rubber band. If you know, you know. My brother also had one 12-inch G.I. Joe Duke, 12-inch. Oh, that's nice. Complete with accessories. Rich kid si Miss Eileen, Lo and behold, we'd add our 80s Ninja Turtles into the ring, which I remember bringing to preschool. That's another thing, And if I had a Barbie car, my brother had an RC car and truck. And no, we can't use the TV remote batteries because it needed, I think, 7.2 volt batteries. Oo nga, yun nga. Yun rin ang iniisip ko eh. That look like chocolate bars. As for unisex toys, I love the Viewmaster. Ah, that's a good one. Each reel had images that tell a story as you flick. Some are just plain images of different tourist locations that one would compare to travel porn Instagram type pictures
Travel
in this day and
porn?
age. Oh nga, yun nga eh. I never would have pegged Miss Eileen to have said something like that, din.
Akala ko yun ang bala niya sa Viewmaster niya.
Oo nga, yun nga.
Hiramin ko yun.
And video games.
Rosala Roses, travel
Ayun
porn.
na, nasira. And video games. We have
Roxana
Donkey
Rosa,
Kong.
Viewmaster.
Oo nga. Bro,
Grabe.
I would get that real. I'd buy
I would
that.
get that.
Si Paloma.
Yeah, I
Paloma.
I would get
And-
that.
And video games. We had Donkey Kong, Game & Watch, Konami, TMNT handheld, Atari 2600, like Balitz, family computer, and the DMG Game Boy, complete with a carrying case and horrendously clunky accessories. It's fun going down memory lane with tonight's topic. While my brother and I were able to keep some of them, some had been lost through the years. They give a glimpse of our childhood and how simpler things were back then. So nostalgic. So that was Miss Eileen, Miss Ensign Porter page on Kick, on Twitch, and on Facebook. You can give her a follow. One of our panelists, sadly, who couldn't make it, but a treasured member of our group as well. Now, I would like to pass on to the star of the show, Jem. Take it away.
Jem,
Labas
anong
mo na
travel
yan.
porn?
Di ba ikaw muna,
Anong
Tito
travel
Joel?
porn mo, Jem?
Eh.
Hindi, si Jem na. I'd like Jem to be featured.
Jem, anong kulay?
Oh,
Ano kulay?
laki yan.
Mamink-mink. Mamink-mink.
Pakibaba ng konti. Pakibaba ng konti. Yung balikat. Uh-huh.
Nakatakip yung mic. Ayan.
Right. Okay. 80s. Okay. It's a very different time during growing up in the 80s. So our dad was the owner of Starlight Productions at the time. So he didn't really have any time for us. And our mom was gone. So I'm basically the mother taking care of my little sister Kimber. But I got my foster sisters, Shayna and Asha. Shout out to my sisters out there. So so at the time it's just Kimber who had all of the toys. I really didn't grow up with the toys, but I do remember having some dollies every now and then, just some plushies here and there. But you know,
Ibang cosplay na ito.
Okay nga. Next level.
pero in
Next level
seriousness, okay.
cosplay. Mas magaling ka pa kay Alodia.
Oo nga, yun nga.
Naku, move over, Alodia.
Mas Alodia ka pa kay Alodia.
Nga.
I was born in 84, so wala ako masyadong tanda nung kanong binigay sa akin during the 80s. Although I did remember during the 90s, like 1991, one of my favorite shows at the time was Voltron, yung V-Force.
Mhm.
So what I did, kasi syempre wala naman kaming datong nun. What I did was, with the memory I had, I drew each vehicle one by one. Alam niyo yung mga karton ng sigarilyo, yung mismong kaha. I used those, and so I just drew each vehicle one by one, cut out from that piece of cardboard, and then until I got all 15, yeah.
Mhm.
And then with some masking tape, that's the time that I put them all together, and then that's the time that I form, Voltron.
Voltron, yeah.
So that was the earliest I can remember having my own. I made my own toy. Imagination. That's all we had. Imagination.
Mhm. Yeah.
Right. And then there was this local toy shop na kapitbahay lang din namin.
Mm-mm.
So he was selling all these sorts of toys, all action figures. So from GI Joes, from WWF, and even G1 Transformers,
Mhm.
and Barbies, and Polly Pockets as well, and some. I remember I Teddy Ruxpin at the very bottom of the
Oh my gosh.
of the bin.
Mhm.
And so he was just selling all of those. It's just a local shop, so naka-display lang siya. And then ako naman tong gago, so syempre, drooling all over these toys. every chance that I get, pupunta ako doon and then titingin lang ako sa stante, nakadungaw lang ako, thinking that kailangan ko kaya makukuha tong mga to. I wanna buy this, I wanna buy that, I wanna buy this, I wanna buy that. And every once in a while, I will convince my parents to get me one of those. Every once, maybe just one Christmas when I was able to convince them to buy me one Transformer toy from that shop. And yeah, and I got it. It's the combiner, the first combiner toy that I got, Superion.
Wow.
One Superion.
Ayun eh. Di ba malaki yun?
So we bought that. So we bought that toy from that shop for 500 pesos, and this was 92, 93, guys.
Uy, grabe, ang laki nun. Sobrang mahal nun. Mahal nun.
Right? 500
Rich
pesos
kid,
back
rich
then.
kid din pala to.
Right? Only that one time. Only that one time. So after that, I had to whore myself out like this. Can you buy me that one? Can you buy me that one?
Oh my God.
Magagalit sa'yo si Tito Joe.
Ibang daddy na yung sinasabi niya. Daddy, can you buy me this?
Oo nga. Lang yan.
Hey, daddy.
500 pesos in 1992 was like
Yeah.
what?
Close
5,000
to
How much is that
pesos?
now, inflation?
about, I'd say, yeah.
5,000
Yeah,
pesos?
Malaki yun
Almost.
dati.
Jesus.
Mal.
92, that was
for a G1 Superion.
92, almost times 10 at the time, no?
Yes.
Comparing to now, 5,000 pesos. Wow!
Wala
Inflation
akong
really
kilalang
did
may
take its enough.
Transformers at the time.
Rich kid. Rich kid.
Rich spoiled
Rich kid.
Oh my
Basta talaga
God.
J umpisa ng pangalan, medyo rich kid eh.
Lahat
Nako.
ng magsisimula sa letter J. Kahit eto
yeah.
si Tito Joel, ito
Kaya-
yung masarap mapakinggan eh.
Kaya ayaw na nga
For
magsalita
sure.
ni Tito Joel kasi nasa kanya.
Kasi tinitira niya yung mga rich kid eh. Tayo mga batang kanal, medyo dinadali natin yung mga rich kid.
Kanal talaga, no? Kanal.
Tayo
Yeah.
batang
Team
hamon.
Kanal,
Well,
Bakit hindi ba kayo nahulog sa kanal nung naglalaro kayo?
Nahulog ako. Isa
Hindi na
ako sa
tayo
mga
dahil sa grasa tayo.
Ako na.
Bakit ba kasi kayo naglalaro sa kanal? Ang laki-laki ng kalye. Kaya nga naglaro, puro sa...
Kasi dati,
Ano
di
ba
ba
ba?
nung mga panahon
Naghahanap
natin,
lang kayo,
open
tapos-
kanal. Di ba? Nung panahon natin, open na yung kanal, wala pang mga cover yan eh.
Mga alagad ni Pennywise pala itong mga
Hindi ko alam kasi sa akin nung lumalaki ako, yung mga kanal nakabukas pa eh. Lalo na sa probinsya. Hindi pa sila sinasara eh.
Turtles ka ba?
Tingnan niyo yung kulay ng kanal na punta sa akin.
Hindi, and this is callback sa isa sa mga previous episodes natin, Raymond, yung si Raymond naman di sa kanal, sa Imbornal siya na naglalaro dati ng mga panahon na yun.
Hot lang.
Di ba, Raymond? There you go.
Sabi nga niya, nung dinampot nga daw siya sa kanal eh, kala tiyanak eh.
Anyway, in my case naman, yung mga panahon ng mga 1980s,
Ito yung gusto ko mapakinggan eh, guys. Ito yung...
Nako.
Tito Joel, take it away.
Hindi, ito ang masasabi ko. Noong mga 1980s, na-mirror din yung mga experience ko marami sa experiences ninyo. I would say, noong mga panahon ninyo, hindi kami masyado maraming pera. Although, meron rin kami mga kamag-anak na nandito sa US that would give us, magpapadala sila ng mga bagay-bagay. Paminsan-minsan, siguro mga during Christmas or something. And ang mga panahon na yan, ang pinakamalalaking mga mga nakukuha namin would be yung mga Matchbox toys. Yung mga, actually, I should turn off yung mga I should turn off yung background nito. I don't
Green
even know
screen.
how this whole thing works. But yeah, yun na nga. Anyway,
Virtual
so
background, turn it off.
ayan, I think you guys can I think you can
Yan,
see it naman,
yan.
So this is unit a Subaru, a red Subaru. This is the exact same car that we're driving right now. I have to admit kasi nung nag-immigrate kami rito sa US, lahat ng mga bagay-bagay na mga nasa akin, ng mga kabataan ko, napilitan akong iwan. All the things that I had way back in the Philippines, I had to leave in the Philippines also. I couldn't carry anything. I only had 2
Saan yung bahay
maletas.
nyo? Kunin namin.
Oo nga, nasan yan? Nasan
Baka
yan?
meron pa.
Pupuntahan namin.
pupunta na sa ano sa
Sa Corinthian
pupunta ron
daw.
sa ano no. So I would say the biggest thing about back in the 80s was yung mga laruan ko either pinadala sa akin mula sa abroad or mga like yung experience nga ni Joe, puro mga ginagawa ko mula sa cardboard dahil yung mga bagay-bagay mga nakikita ko ron sa mga commercial sa TV o kaya sa mga magazine dati. Yun yung mga inaasam-asam ko. I would say, I think I can share, I think everybody here in this panel and in the audience shares that experience na marami tayong mga bagay dati, mga nakakita sa mga advertisements, sa mga magazines, sa mga TV, sa mga sine,
Right.
like sa The Wizard or something like that, na kapag nakita mo, ay, sana meron ako nun. Sana, gusto ko, ano kaya pakiramdam na laro yun? How can it feel if I actually had that, the Power Glove for the Nintendo or
yes.
yung mga
So bad.
yung mga Viewmasters and everything. I would say mga bagay-bagay na yun. Yung mga naranasan ko was a lot of it was in my imagination and I kind of dreamed it na lang siguro or yung mga nakilaro ko ron sa mga kapitbahay ko. So I would say the most significant ones, although yun na nga, going forward in this discussion, one thing about 80s toys is hindi sila nawala. Marami sa mga 80s toys, even if iniwan natin from way back when, sa mga panahon natin, iniwan natin sa mga bahay natin, sa mga kabataan natin, hindi natin sila iniwan dito, hindi natin sila iniwan dito. They're all still in our heads, in our minds, in our minds and in our hearts. So, alam ng mga marketers yun. Yung mga marketers they
Right.
will keep it coming back all the way to modern times, to modern era. So I would say dati I had one that was very significant to me.
Whoa!
He-Man.
Version, right?
Yeah.
So,
Importante ito. 1982, I think. It was 1982 nung 1981, 1982 nung lumabas yung He-Man and naging malaking impact niya sa mga Pilipinong bata dati dahil it was significant na it catered specifically to boys and nag-umpisa yung mga iba-ibang mga characters aside from G.I. Joe sa He-Man.
Ganyan din yung buhok mo dati, Ninong Joel.
Yeah, oo. Nung mga tumating yung mga panahon 1989, ganito yung buhok ko.
Yung-
Mullet siya. Ganon. I
Bowl
would say-
cut.
Mm-mm.
Bowl cut.
Oo.
And the thing about it is,
Nainggit
ito
ako
yung-
bigla kay Tito Joel. HD ko talaga eh.
Ito
Hindi
Joel,
ako red kid. Hindi ito yung klase na nahuhubaran.
yung
Pero,
dibdib lang sa dibdib.
Bakit ganun yung hawak mo? Bakit ganun yung hawak mo?
Ba't ganun? Ba't mo ginaganon? Ba't mo ginaganon? Ba't parang may kinakapa
Tito
ka?
Joel, pataas
Ba't mo
nga.
kinakapa si He-Man?
kapag si Jomar ang nagsabi hubaran yun, ang ganda unang tumatatak sa utak ko.
Security check na daw.
Barang agad sa baba.
Security
Hindi.
check kung may weapon.
Oh, yun nga, kailangan eh. Although yun
mo
ang the thing about it is He-Man was important. Hindi na ito yung original. Wala yung original na He-Man may power punch eh. Ito wala siyang power punch.
This is the reissue, right?
Ito yung na-reissue. This is exactly what I'm saying. Na alam ng
saan
mga
yung
market.
Tiger, Tito Joel?
Wala eh.
Where's the tiger?
Wala ako nun. Yung si Battle Cat, yung
Battle
kulay
Cat.
green
Yeah,
na tiger.
Battle Cat, yeah.
Yun yun. Wala ako nun.
Hanapan ka namin, Tito Joel.
Yan.
Hanapan ka namin.
Hanapan mo ako. Sige, Jeff. Pero yun, ang importante sa akin dati was He-Man dahil it aside from Superman, siya yung nag-embody ng pagiging masculine, strong, heroic energy.
Yes.
Yun yung
Right.
mga bata tayo, mga lalaki. Importante sa atin na maging heroes tayo ng sarili nating storya.
Right.
We really wanted to be the heroes of our stories, and that's why we have these toys because hindi lang natin nire-reenact yung mga scenarios na pinupuntahan nila sa mga TV shows na nakikita natin,
Right.
kundi pinapasok natin sila sa mga iba-ibang mga scenarios na hindi po pwede sa mga TV dati. Kagaya ng let's say,
That's true.
meron siya si He-Man, biglang malilipat siya sa Earth, makakalaban niya si Storm Shadow. Let's say, ganun eh, no? In this
May
case,
crossover.
may mga crossovers. We had crossovers way before
Oh,
Marvel
hell yeah.
had crossovers. Ganun. So, mag-aaway si He-Man at si Storm Shadow. Who would win? We would always battle. He-Man might have had the power, but Storm Shadow might have had the experience in battle. Ganun, he would use the environment to his advantage. So, yun yung mga bagay that would fire up our imaginations way back in the 80s going forward. And besides, this is not original G.I. Joe. Hindi reissue na rin ito dahil
This
If I remember yung G.I. Joe dati, mga ganyan lang sila katatangkad, di ba?
Oh,
Yung
maliit
A
mga-
little bit, a little bit more. Hanggang doon sa
Mm,
balikat niya,
ganyan,
Tito
mga
Joe.
ganyan siguro.
Maliit
Yeah,
lang siya,
exactly.
Mga ganyan.
Yes, that's
Oo.
the exact size.
Ito yung mga original na mga ano yung mga original G.I. Joe, pero right now yung mga reissues medyo mas malalaki na dahil mas articulated
Yes.
na sila, mas marami ng mga
Mm.
detail. Pwede nang gumalaw yung mga elbows nila,
Well,
yung mga
yes.
tuhod nila and everything.
Alam mo pa paano mo
Yes.
malalaman, Tito Joel, kung G1 o ano yan, reissue?
Paano?
Buksan natin.
Yeah.
Buksan natin.
I would
Let's
say,
go.
And
Let's
just to
go.
follow up dun sa sinabi ni Tito Joel na regarding dun sa male masculinity when it comes to the toys before. The beautiful thing about the 80s is that they also highlighted the femininity
yes.
and
very
how
true.
women can be strong on their own.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember Shira, the
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
That's such a great cartoon. And I remember watching it on RPN 9. Me being born in 1992 and still knowing that and watching that and remembering the crossover between He-Man and She-Ra was such a great thing. It was
Yes.
so monumental na
Yes.
at that time, even though there was a separation between the genders, you
Mhm.
know that both genders are equally powerful.
Yes, very true. They would-
Akala ko
that
magjowa
was
yung dalawa
such a
na yung
great
dati.
thing. Exactly. Ako
Oo,
din eh.
nung bata ka,
Ako din
magjowa,
eh.
love team.
Hindi, very important yung sinabi ni Palis kasi gender roles were very defined but we knew na they would work together. If they work together, they would become more powerful. Importante
Exactly.
yun.
Exactly.
Oo, na hindi sila nag-aaway, nagko-complement sila sa isa't isa.
Mm.
Ayun. So,
Well,
along with
the toy developers at the time wanted,
Mm.
okay, so He-Man are for the boys. We need something for the girls.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, that's true.
they invented and so they came up with She-Ra, a derivative version of He-Man, but it did work. And even though that She-Ra was intentionally made for the girls, some of the guys still love She-Ra as well.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
She-Ra is amazing.
She-Ra is amazing.
I would have dressed as She-Ra if I had the chance. Okay.
Yung ano
Just,
dati, no?
just remember the ponies of She-Ra.
Oh
Diba?
yeah. Oh yes, absolutely. Nakalimutan ko yung pangalan, Swiftwind, I think, no?
Yes,
Yung pangalan ng
Swiftwind,
kabayo niya, yun. Now, it's not just the male energy. It's all like Palit says, and I'm pretty sure Notch is going to agree with this. It was also the emotional aspect there, no? So
yeah.
back in the
Care
80s,
Bears.
Care Bears.
Care
I did not
Bears.
in-insist ni Mrs. na
Caroline.
isama ko yun sa usapan na to, no? The Care
Hindi
Bears.
pwedeng
The Care
hindi.
Yes, absolutely.
This
Sabi nga ni Noche kasi order ng commander, di ba, Noche?
Ito Joel. Yan ang kaya namin i-cosplay. Kaya namin
yeah.
i-cosplay yan yung Rhino.
Dahil pare-pareho na tayo ng korte ng katawan eh. No? ang kagandahan naman sa 80s was we also featured not just the male energy, the masculine energy. We also featured the female energy, the
Well,
emotional aspect eh, no? Dahil yung the Care Bears catered naman to the fact na it's not just the emotion, the intelligence quotient, the IQ. It was also the emotional quotient. Na makikita mo, you were taught how to care about others and about the situations of other people. Hindi lang puro ikaw. Sure, it might have been the decade of excess and selfishness, pero tinuro pa rin sa atin kung paano makibagay sa mga kasama natin. And it didn't matter what color skin you had, it didn't matter what religion you had, as long as you were able to get along with other people, that was the most important thing. And I can say na importante rin yung lesson na yun going forward into the future. That's a lesson that we learned in the 80s that I think people in the current times should learn and relearn na rin paulit-ulit. So I would say the masculine energy, He-Man, the female energy, She-Ra, the Care Bears, Polly Pocket, Rainbow Bright. Some of the modern properties right now, like My Little Pony, still had Cabbage Patch Dolls. Cabbage Patch Dolls
hell
still
yeah.
had their origins way back.
Cabbage Patch
Absolutely,
Kids.
yeah. Cabbage Patch Kids, yeah.
TY. Do you guys remember TY?
TY?
Yes,
Ano yun?
TY
Which one is that
Dollies.
one?
Yes.
Yung TY babies.
The small
TY
bears.
babies. Yeah.
Oh, I don't.
TY babies. EY Dollies, Tito Joe.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think I ever had that, you know.
The
No.
Beanie Babies. Beanie
Beanie
Babies.
Babies.
Oh,
Beanie
there you
Babies.
go. The
Mga
Beanie
Beanie
Babies.
Yeah.
I would say, malaking tulong sa akin was that I had this
Ito,
book,
di ba?
the Totally Tubular 80s Toys.
Uy.
Yan, I got this
Tubular.
from,
Si Al.
I got this
Si
from
Al.
I got this from the
Wow, that's
bookstore.
totally tubular.
Yeah, the nice thing about it was it
Tubular.
features yung mga toys ng mga panahon naman.
Holy
ng mga
shit,
toys
Fort Mac.
na- Yeah,
I had
the-
that.
Yeah,
I had
Fort
that.
Maximus, yung mga ganyan.
Mm.
For the people in the audience, I am featuring a book right now called Totally Tubular 80s Toys by Mark Bellum, and it has all these things like yung pinag-usapan nga ni Joe,
Uy!
Ultron, and things like
Ruger
that.
and
Boy,
Goliath.
And
Binibigyan ko lang kami Rason maghanap ng lason, Tito Joe.
yeah, and, I
Oh,
would
may
say,
labas, Mark.
yeah, the Inhumanoids, if you remember the Inhumanoids,
Yes!
there are a lot of
Humanoids.
toys
Humanoids.
that-
Inhumanoids. So
And of
super
course-
underrated.
and of course, Mr. T. How can anybody possibly forget
Oh,
Mr.
Mr.
T?
T.
And ito,
Oh.
Cabbage Patch Kids. If
Cabbage Patch.
somebody did
Hell
mention
yeah.
this, yes, that's true. Now, the thing about it is, back in the 80s, it was a time of unbridled creativity because Ronald Reagan was the president at the time of the United States, deregulated in television industry. So a lot of the companies saw it as an opportunity to market to children. And it worked.
Yes.
A lot of people said na it might damage kids dahil yung mga bata hindi marunong mag-distinguish kung alin ang advertisement at kung anong cartoon.
Yeah.
But personally
Mhm.
speaking, hindi naman malaking damage and impact sa atin dahil alam natin nung mga bata tayo kung ano yung advertisement at kung ano yung actual na programming.
Right.
Yung mga madali nating ma-distinguish yun. And for us, it was very important for us to see that the toys that came with the programming, with the cartoons, were related and reasonably accurate enough na pwede mo siyang masabi na you can reenact and make new scenarios ron sa mga laruan sa mga bata. So I would say those things were the most formative and important part of the toys back then. Of course, yung mga science fiction dati, yung mga Captain Power,
Captain
and
Power,
everything
you know.
like that, yung mga dati, yung mga jets dati and everything. I didn't have that, pero I was able to find this. A lot of my collection dati ng mga panahon ng mga Pinas, iniwan ko. Pero nung nakarating ako rito sa US, dahil umattend ako ng mga retro gaming conventions, at least medyo na-rebuild ko kahit konti. So
Right.
I would continue the conversation right now into the modern era. Like I said, I touched on it. Yung mga panahon ngayon, tanungin ko ang panel and the audience. Actually, first things first, I would like to feature a couple of comments from our audience. I'd like to feature Mr. Bel Valenzuela, our fearless leader, Pinay Retro Gaming, who says, toys are important on childhood, the Joel. Can stimulate kasi yung creativity, social interaction, and imagination. Extremely important statement from Bell, who
Jesus has spoken.
hit it right on the head. As in, if you ask me, this statement encapsulates the importance of 80s toys. It stimulates creativity, social interaction, and imagination. Social interaction dahil ang mga kasamahan mo, hindi lang imagination mo umaandar eh. Imagination din nila eh.
Hell
I would ask siguro ang pinaka-importanting experience ninyo regarding yung mga toys ninyo. I'd ask anybody step up and relate kung ano yung pinaka-importante, pinaka-tumatak sa utak ninyo na experience ninyo about 80s toys. It doesn't have to be first-hand. It could be something that you remember somebody telling you. Ayan. Sige, Boss Jeff, Tito Popoy.
Actually, it's not a toy. Actually, Tito Joel. It's the bonding of your childhood friends, yung pinaka na treasure ko. Kasi unang-una, hindi lang actually yung mga kalaro kasi natin dati. We are not kumbaga hindi kami nagpapayabangan ng laruan because kung anong meron kami, kumbaga lahat kami naglalaro. So, ang pinaka-tumatak sa akin is, nung bata kami, is we are building dreams. Kumbaga, yung pangarap namin. Di ba, kagaya ng sinabi ko sa inyo, naglalaro kami sa buhangin. We are building tunnels and
Yan na naman tayo.
doon namin pinapadaan yung mga sasakyan. Somewhat there.
Ano naman tayo sa buhangin?
Nagkaroon ng pangarap ang isang kalaro namin na civil engineer siya ngayon. Alam mo, mga ganun.
Okay.
Right.
Alam, feeling ko si Tito Popoy nakatira talaga sa beach to Naka-beach front house talaga ito ng bahay.
Siya yung
Sa beach
ano,
ko kayo sa Cueva.
Siya yung lifeguard doon.
That's
Siya yung lifeguard.
Siya yung batang kumakain ng buhangin eh.
Pero tama naman ang sabi ni Boss Chip. The dreams that we had
Pero
during our childhood became the reality that we had today. Marami sa atin yung...
Just to follow up dito, Joel, no?
Yes, go ahead.
I would just follow up on that. Kasi kami nung bata ako, I remember yung meron kasing mayaman dun sa community namin. Tapos nagpapalaro siya ng Legos sa mga bata.
Yeah.
Ang nangyayari dun, instead of us playing together, we were competing, which was nicer. Yung build, binibuild namin, and that created until I remember until grade 6, naalala ko yung mga bata kami. Until grade 6, parang lagi kami nagko-compete who's better. Parang doon kami na build na you always need to be better. Hindi lang dahil sa may kalaban ka, but personally yourself, you always need to improve what you're doing. Parang kasing yung especially yung Lego is personally Lego started it all. When it comes to toys, Lego was the king. It started the toy movement. When I remember that clearly nung time na yon, yung mga kalaro ko, initially we were playing together, nagbi-build kami ng community, parang bahay-bahayan, and then later on we were trying to create cars, bahay, mansions, tapos ko-compare namin sa isa't isa. Is this better? Sinong pinakamaganda? Ano ba yung mas maayos? That created sa current climate and sa current culture, it looks like toxic na competitive kami sa isa't isa as kids. But for us back then, it was something that motivated us to create something better. Na every time na maglalaro kami, nag-iisip na kami agad. Pag uwi namin, nag-iisip na kami, paano ba lalagpasan yung ginawa ko or ginawa nung kasama ko na mas magaling?
That's true. I would completely agree with you, Palitz, on that one because of the fact na it's not just cooperation but competition that hones talaga. Yung mga bata talaga, importante sa kanila na meron silang benchmark na kung ano yung mas magaling at mas maganda, malaman din nila so that they can surpass it. Para malagpasin nila kung ano man yung kung ano man yung mga nagawa na ng nauna, baka pwede nila mas galingan pa. I'd like to ask Notch about this one though. I'd like to ask Notch, there you go, yung gwapo. And kung ano yung naging opinion naman regarding yung impact ng toys of the 80s, not just to you, but also to your mindset, to your thinking, to your attitude and everything. Sige. Notch.
Well, I spent most of my childhood kasi outside of the Philippines. Pumunta ako ng Brunei, mga 4 years old ako.
Yes.
And doon ako nag-stay. And yung mga toys na nakukuha ko sa Brunei kasi, I'm not sure if meron na kagad sa Pilipinas na. Pero definitely, hindi namin masyado nakukuha yung nakukuha sa US. Pero we did have them, no? I remember nung 7th birthday ko, yung isa sa mga titos ko, niregaluhan ako ng Michael Keaton na Batman na figure.
Nice!
Okay yan.
89.
Yan.
Oh. Rich kid.
Sadly nawala na. So, tumimik ka dyan. Tapos, syempre, sanay kasi ako na na ako lang naglalaro when I was growing up, hindi katulad sa Pinas na paglabas mo maraming kakalaro.
Yes.
Sa Brunei at the time kasi nakatira kami sa apartment. So I had friends pero hindi siya katulad ng Pilipinas nga na uy, laro tayo kickball ganyan sa labas or whatever. Uy, laro tayo sa buhangin o sa putikan o sa kanal. So I had to
Loko to. Parang battle tournament na yata, suntukan ata yun.
Anyway, tuloy Notch. Go ahead.
I had to be creative with how I play my toys and syempre nakaka-bore kasi si Joker baril diyan. Ginawa ko nung isa sa mga naging regalo ko aside from the Batman toys, may nagbigay sa akin ng fishing pole.
Nice.
So, yung ginawa ko sa fishing pole, tinali ko si Batman dun sa thread.
Okay.
Tapos ginano ko sa terrace namin. Woo! Tapos, yung Batman gumagano sa kabilang bahay sa ilalim. Gumagano. So, nakikita ko, Gano'n yung sa
Nagsiswing.
ilalim namin na
Oo.
Bumbayo. Tawa ko ng tawa ng time na yun. You know, iba talaga yung binibigay ng mga toys sa akin. Nung time na yun, sa personally. Another memory really that I really loved was, aside from the Care Bears, I had the Teddy Ruxpin.
Oh,
I had
nice.
the Teddy
Okay.
Ruxpin.
Mm.
And being a loner myself, kasi yung mga kapatid ko dito sa Pilipinas, I was in Brunei, yun yung madalas kong naalala ko na nakakausap ko. Kasi diba may tape siya sa likod, di ba?
Right,
Oh, yes.
right.
Exactly.
Tapos sabihin sa'yo, I love you. Tapos, tangina mo! Isip mo
Di ko yata naalala si Teddy Ruxpin na nagsasalita na gano'n.
Pero, I mean, Teddy
Pero
Ruxpin
hindi ba
was
meron
so-
gano'n yung recorded na teddy bear tapos uulitin niya?
I
Among
guess.
their
I never had one though. I guess that's the thing.
Teddy Ruxpin was really important to how I grew up. No?
Yeah.
And I think I just want to add one more thing. I was so into the Ninja Turtles.
Oh,
the point
yes.
na
Yan, yes.
Gusto ko
Yan,
balikan
yan,
yung
yan.
gusto ko balikan yung do you
Yan.
remember the mutation?
Oh, yan.
Mutation
Ah,
ng Ninja
ah,
Turtles nun?
Yes.
Kulang si Rafael eh. Pero at the time, sobrang into ako sa Ninja
Oh,
Turtles.
yeah.
Humingi ako ng pet tortoise.
Oh, okay. Live
nilalaro ko siya,
tortoise. Okay.
ganyan. Sa sobrang hilig ko. Ito sa sobrang hilig ko.
Nako,
Meron
tragedy dito.
Meron
Okay,
kaming
sige.
kanal. Meron kaming
Okay.
kanal.
Ito rin pala, batang kanal
Nilagay-
din eh.
Nilagay ko yung Ninja Turtle. Nilagay ko si Leonardo. Leonardo yung pangalan nun eh. Nilagay ko
Okay.
si Leonardo dun. Tapos sabi ko, sige, go home. Go
Mm.
home. Kaya na-realize ko, parang pinatay ko yung turtle. Pero
Buti hindi ka, no? Buti buti hindi ka kumuha ng daga, ano? Tapos splinter.
Yung master niya.
Muntik na. Pero these memories, these were special times. Kasi the point of bakit tayo nangongolekta ngayon really is because we want to relive those memories.
Oh, yan, yung moments.
Atong mga
Yeah.
Ninja Turtle toys ko, gusto ko balikan to kasi ito yung mga nawala ko before, you know. No, so sobrang importante sa paglaki ko. Hanggang pagdating ko sa Pilipinas back sa 1998, I had to learn how to, you know, mix it up with other kids. Pero I would always revert back to toys and you know and video games. Iba-iba yung dating talaga.
Absolutely, completely agreed. The thing about the if I can interject na nga, the thing about the 80s was it's also important na the memories that you bring along with you are formative to who you are right now. Earlier, Miss Eileen did mention the Viewmaster. So ito yung hinalo
nice.
Mas pang mayaman.
Mura lang. Nakita mo naman yung presyo.
$15, oh.
Nakita mo naman yung presyo, $15 lang eh. No? Dahil ganito ka-cheap ito.
Dati.
Noong mga panahon natin, ngayon, nakuha ko sa convention. Ito yung isa sa mga dreams ko dati. And natim ko rin siya ngayon dahil nung mga panahon natin, yung Viewmaster was yung mga maliliit lang. Pero nakita ko itong ito dati,
Yung red.
yung talking Viewmaster. As in, kapag may mga special siya na bala, nagsasalita siya, dinidescribe niya yung scene, aside from yung nakikita mo. Yun yung talagang inisip ko dati, ay nako, sana meron ako ng mga panahon ngayon. How wonderful would it have been? Mag-i-enjoy sana ako ng todo-todo kung meron ako noon.
So
Hindi ko siya
$15 nakuha yan.
Yeah, $15 ko siya nakuha ngayon. It's cheap enough.
Grabe,
Mga
cheap
panahon
yan ha.
ang mga panahon na ito, I'd say, yung mga memories na mararanasan mo dati, it's not really, for me, it wasn't really a memory that I experienced, but it was a memory na hiniling ko sana pero hindi nagkatotoo. Another important thing about back in the 80s was, kagaya ng nasuot ni Jomar ngayon is Back to the Future. Ang mga
Gremlins.
Yung
Gizmo?
mga licensed
Gizmo.
toys, yung mga
Gizmo.
Gremlins, yung mga E.T., yung mga ganon 1982.
Dumadami
was
ba
the
yan?
year, ganun Hindi wala eh.
Is that
Pero
Gizmo?
si Gizmo, yeah, that's true.
Gizmo.
Yung mga stuffed toys dati. Although I admit, meron ako nito dati. When I saw the 182 movie of Gremlins, I had to have it. So binili ko siya, nilaro ko siya, pinalo-palo ko siya sa mga kung saan-saan. And ngayon, nire-reissue, it's gonna be another topic that we'll talk about a little later. marketers know what we like. Ngayong mga panahon na ito, they know exactly what we're looking for, the memories that we're trying to remember. And yun na nga, I'd say alam nila na bentahan tayo. Actually, to the corollary to that, tanungin ko si Raymond dahil ikaw isa sa mga pinakabata sa atin, Raymond. Ngayon na I'm absolutely sure nakikita mo yung mga Renaissance sa mga 80s
Bata.
toys. Nagkakaroon ka ba ng budol or ng lason? Nakikita mo itong mga 80s toys na to. Hindi mo siya naranasan first hand. Attracted ka ba rito sa mga toys na to that are being
Actually,
released?
Man, gusto mo ikwento ko yung budol mo?
Pwede mo bang i-speaker, hindi yung nakaano ka, para naririnig doon nasa likod mo kung ano yung mga budol mo.
Ayaw nga. Ayun na.
Para may full disclosure.
Para alam. Hindi ka katago.
Oo, ayan na. Miss
Kasi
Mara.
ganito, kaya ako na-motivate na bilhin yung mga collection ko right now ng toys, especially Transformers, is that when I was a kid, hindi ako wala pa kaming pera that time. And I was so fascinated on robots and especially Transformers. Inggit na inggit ako doon sa mga friends ko, like, the heck, bakit ka meron ganyan? Ako nagpapabili sa nanay ko, hindi ako mabilan. So I was crying, alam mo yon, yung ginagawa ng bata na bakit siya meron, yung the time na papaluin ka pa kasi ayaw mo tumigil. Ayan, that time pa yung Ninja Turtles din, I was a fan of Ninja Turtles that time. Ayan, and there was a time na sa SM Cubao kami ng nanay ko, and I was so fascinated talaga. Doon sa stante ng may part doon, sobrang kasi ng Turtles that time, meron silang isang malaking panel doon, ay booth.
Display.
Kumbaga, ng mga toys, merchandise, and anything. And that time, nakatunganga lang ako doon sa mga glass tables nila na iniwan ako ng magulang ko kasi narinig sa akin. And that time, nawala pa ako. So, that, right now, motivate ako na, dahil hindi ko siya naranasan na bilhin before, ngayon na may trabaho na ako, I have may job, tapos may passive income naman, may pumapasok. So, ito, paunti-unti. Kasi reminiscing
kailan mo kukunin yung dalawang pinabili mo?
Ayan. Ayan, napapating na si Mara.
May lumilingon. Parang may lumilingon. Yung ulo mo, speakers mo nito.
Yung naka-speaker pala.
Yumuko ka na, par. Mababatuhan ka na, par.
Hindi, ito pinag-usapan namin
Kung ano mang buhok mo, mawawala yan.
Sabi ko, there was a time na kailangan kong bumili ng laruan kasi
kailangan talaga.
Kailangan yun.
Para lang ma-relieve lang kasi kinuwento ko sa kanya yung mga past struggles ko with regards sa toy. So may approval naman siya minsan.
Hindi ko pa
Ginagamit mo lang.
Minsan.
Hindi ko
Ginagamit mo lang
yung
yun.
kailangan ko bumili.
Kaklarify natin sa podcast. Minsan. Paano yung madalas?
Oo nga. Ano yan?
Siyempre yung madalas, yung kunyaring nanalo ko sa raffle. So in the way, Tito Joel, this kind of toys na, yun nga, I'm reminiscing right now, nakikita ko.
Yes.
Ayan, right now, I'm feeling motivated na, si Notch may turtles, baka ako rin, baka dahil sa'yo, no, chayop ka.
Ako na naman yan.
Kasi alam mo, ang nanay ko, sabi niya, it's either Batman or Ninja Turtles lang yung pinaka-paborito kong laruan.
I see, okay. Okay.
So, hayop ka, Notch?
Man, para sa'yo, man.
There you go.
Ronin.
Last Ronin. Nice one. Okay. Joman,
Just to share, no?
Yeah, go ahead.
Last Ronin na to ni Notch na pinakita. Pakita mo, Notch.
Ayan,
ang tagal
the last
namin tong pinagkikwentuhan.
Tagal namin pinagkwentuhan.
Really?
Tagal namin pinagkwentuhan yan.
Pakilaki.
Kasi
Okay.
sobrang iconic ng comic book na yan.
Ay.
Just if you guys know, like for the viewers, if you follow the Ninja Turtles, this is something that you should read.
Okay.
You
Last
should
Ronin.
read.
Last Ronin.
Pero-
The last
The Last
Ronin.
Ronin.
Pero maiksi lang yung story niyan, di ba?
It is. It's an offshoot. It's an offshoot actually. It's not.
More of a
technically,
what
it's
if, I
canon,
think,
eh,
yan,
no?
Oh, it
Technically-
is?
Technically,
It's canon?
It's canon eh, no?
Technically, it's
Kasi
canon.
Canon.
technically,
Para sa akin malupit
technically,
yung ano niya. Malupit siya.
sobrang ganda.
Oo,
Okay.
malupit
It
yung
is
Last Ronin.
something that will last for a lifetime.
Yeah.
Like, ang ganda.
Yeah.
So, if
There's-
you
there's
if you
actually,
find
ano-
something na The Last Ronin, especially the
Mhm.
figure, I have one of my own already.
Mhm.
Kasi I know it would increase in value. Medyo scalper
Mhm.
tayo.
Okay lang yan. Okay lang yan. That's
Okay lang,
part of
fetish naman yung
it.
binudol mo ng scalping eh. Okay lang yan.
Well, hindi, ah. Pinag-usapan talaga namin. I mean, I plan to really get it. Kasi nga, sabi ko, fan ako ng Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
I'm trying to complete yung NECA na Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, yung first movie.
Oh, yes.
Tapos pinag-usapan namin to. And
Mhm.
nung nakuha ko tong nude version, there's also a fully clothed one na
Hell
ninja
yeah.
suits siya, no?
Yes.
Iba rin talaga eh. I mean, even though tumanda ka na't lahat,
Mhm.
iba pa rin pag nakikita mo yung Ninja Turtles. For me, Ninja
Mhm.
Turtles. And
Yeah.
I go way back to
Mhm.
when nagtantrums ako kasi
Mhm.
hindi ko nakuha yung isang Leonardo na toy na gusto ko.
Oh,
Alam mo
yeah.
yung ganun?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Iba eh.
Magkaibigan talaga tayo, Notch, no?
Oo naman, kaya
Oh, actually, first, while we're on the topic, I'd like to bring in Jomar. He had something to say a moment ago. Jomar, ikaw yung I would say masasabi ko na sure dati may kaya ka at nakuha mo lahat, pero ngayon
Yes,
mas lalong
yes.
dumadami yung mga kinukuha mo.
Yes,
Ikwento mo sa atin kung ano yung parang further adventures mo sa collecting mo
Yes,
kung sa
yes.
regarding 80s toys.
Idadagdag ko lang talaga dun sa mga sinabi nyo yan. Kay Notch, kay
Yes.
Tito Joel, kay Palits.
Mm.
Lahat kayo. Actually, it's for memories talaga eh. Meron akong na-prove na yan eh. Kasi ako yung bata dati was fortunate enough na may mga nagre-regalo sa akin ng bibigay. So, one of my favorites din is yan, yung Ninja Turtles. Bumubukas likod niyan, di ba? Yung original. Talaga yung mga weapons niya, mga ganon. Tapos, one of them is Ghostbusters. Yung ano niya,
Oh, yes.
yung slime. Tuwan-tuwa ko dun dati. Yung Ghostbusters. Astig yun, astig. So, most of them, may mga nagbibigay sa akin. So, I got into robots after Transformers. Ang una kong robot is yung Mazinger Sinabakal, yung maliit.
Oh, yeah.
Alam ko, may
Nice
maalala
one.
niyo yun.
Nice
And then,
one.
everything changed. Puro robot na nun.
Mhm.
Tapos, one time, yung mga kaklase ko nung elementary, nagbuo sila ng GC. So, it's called UE Elementary School 1985 to 1990. Ganun.
Okay.
So, meron dun isang kaklase ko. Hindi, ano yung elementary yun eh. Sakto yun.
Mga anong year yung elementary ka?
Hanggang 1990 elementary ako.
Anyway, tuloy mo, Jomar. Go ahead. Okay.
Ayun, so meron ako isang classmate na talagang matagal ko na siya hindi nakita. It's ang unang bungad niya sa akin, which is nakakatuwa. Sabi niya, Jomar, naalala mo, nagpupunta tayo sa bahay mo. Naglalaro tayo ng mga robot mo eh. Tapos he was kinikwento niya lahat. Yung ginagawa namin. It brings back the days.
Okay.
So, yun ang yung pinaka natutuwa ako. That's why parang ikaw, Tito Joel at Notch, pilit kong kinukuha lahat yung mga laruan ko dati na nawala. Dahil, alam mo yun, meron ka parating auntie dati na may anak, tapos sabing gano'n, laruin mo naman yung anak mo, tapos sisirain, tapos wala na, di ba?
That's true.
So, yung gano'n, kaya siya nawala. Sa ngayon, binabawi ko siya ngayon. One of them, kagabi, naghahanap ako nung camera ko.
Oh, yeah.
Meron ako mga hindi inaasahang nahanap na mga laruan ko na dala ko dito. Ito yung isa.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Nice one. That is the
Wala na siya eh. Wala na siya dito.
Starscream one,
Starscream.
right?
Starscream.
Nice one.
So, this was the G1.
G1.
Matagal na siya. So, nakita ko siya dun sa mga stash ko that I brought papunta dito kasama ng mga iba kong mga gamit ko katulad ng mga comics.
Pakita mo yung macros mo.
Well, the Macros is ano yan panahon na yan ng 1999 yung nabili ko. Pero alam nyo ba, yung Macros kasi, isa rin yan sa mga na naastigan akong robot talaga dati. Kasi yung pinsan ko noon, meron siyang robot na Macros. Ayaw niya sa akin palaro. Ever.
Okay.
So nagkaroon ako ng na hiniling ko yon nung nagkaroon ako ng mga laruan. I share it with my friends.
Yes.
Tapos naalala nyo, di ba may Thundercracker na ganito?
Oh yes.
Yes.
Kulay blue. Oo.
Nung dati, teka lang, eto kasi, nilalagyan namin ng Watusi yan.
Okay.
Thundercracker. Parang kunyari naglalaro ka tapos bilang babarilin niya. Ganun,
Kung
babarilan.
putok-putok, ganun. Oo, tama.
Kaya nasira yung Thundercracker ko na sinatunaw.
Nasira yung Thundercracker ng Firecracker.
Na
Oh,
fry.
yeah. Tama. Very good. Nicely played.
So,
Mar, yung
Very
Mar,
ironic.
yung Thundercracker na yon binigay lang sa'yo.
binibigay lang sa akin talaga ng mga uncle ko nandito sa US noon.
Yeah.
Kasi before wala naman talagang scalper prices talagang lang siya kung magkano siya nilabas, yun lang siya. Kaya nabibili pa ng mga uncle ko nandito sa Amerika pag umuwi. Meron silang dala sa akin na mga laruan. So tinitreasure ko yun. Isa rin yun dahil banding kami ng mga uncle ko. Airpod ko hindi mahilig sa laruan pero nakikibanding din siya sa akin. So ang ganda ng feeling yung aalalahanin mo lahat na yung nangyayari dati.
I see. Okay. Well, it's definitely tama ang philosophy ni Joe Martin. It's the memories that matter. Importante talaga yung
Hell
mga
yeah.
memories talaga,
Nostalgia pure nostalgia. When he showed me that G1 Transformer na Starscream, holy, naalala ko yung mayaman namin na kapitbahay, pinakita yan.
Baka si Jomar yun.
Hindi.
Si Joe Mario, no?
Si Jomar yata.
Kasi na to, early 2000s na to anak siya ng mayaman talaga. So his father was collecting. I can't forget it. When he showed me that, parang naalala ko nung tumanda na ako, sabi ko, one fucking day I will have that.
Yes.
I will have that.
Mura na mura yan.
Okay lang yan.
Notch, nagpaalam ako.
Oo, nagpaalam. May permission.
May basbas.
Oo.
Pero sobrang ganda. One thing that 1980s have that nothing, like even the newer generation have, is that feel when you play, when you have that figure, yung feel na when you play with something, the cracks. You remember that the yung ASMR na feeling when you play with the toys, it just feels so smooth.
It's very true.
It doesn't feel the same. I don't know if it's just me, pero because I played with Dino Riders, like I collected Dino Riders when I had the opportunity to buy them, because I grew up watching Dino Riders na, I wish I had that toy. Kasi at the time nung lumalaki ako, ang mahal na ng Dino Riders eh.
Oh yeah.
Totoo.
Dino Riders was so fucking expensive. So growing up, always dreamed of it. And then yung feeling na yon when you're cracking the joints, just moving the joints,
yes,
it doesn't feel the same.
Oo. Kasi ako, iyak na ako eh. Iyak na ako pag may narinig akong cracking sound eh.
Iba naman yung yung cracking
Iba
sa
din
katawan
sa'yo
mo naman
eh.
yung Jomar
Iba din sa'yo eh. But kung katulad nung OG Transformers na I have, when you hear that noise, it feels right.
Yes.
I don't know if it's just me. But kasi meron ako modern and old eh. So when I compare
Actually, Sir Lee,
it just
yung mga
doesn't feel the
Transformers
same.
G1, Ang ASMR natin doon is
Ganon.
No, if I can interject, Palitz, the thing about it is with the reissuances nowadays na nga
Yun, no?
for Transformers and everything.
Hell yeah, I have
Um,
the same.
The thing about it is there's a big difference between yung mga originals at yung
Yeah.
mga bago. The thing about the reissuances is they're almost pure plastic na. Yung mga originals natin, mga die-cast metal, mga matitigas,
Yes.
mga
Yeah.
matitibay.
Yung
Kahit nga itong mga
materials
Robotech,
noon.
yung mga VF1S, plastic lang ito. Hindi mo
Yes,
mararamdaman
exactly.
na talagang solid sila. Sure, they might be a little bit more accurate to what we saw sa mga cartoons dati, pero iba pa rin na nararamdaman mo na solid na bakal yung hawak-hawak mo, and they just
Like this one.
feel
Just the joints.
strength. Exactly, the joints
Yeah.
would be able to
Yung-
withstand
yung-
hard play.
Yung
Ganun.
ASMR na
Yun, there you go.
kumukontra,
Pinapakita ni Jomar. Oh. Ayun,
Yung
there you go.
diecast Diecast.
There you go.
pure diecast.
Yeah,
That's the
yung
good
ano.
thing. Diba?
Mhm.
Diecast
Yes.
kasi before.
You can hear it di ba? Ayun, katulad ng
Oh.
pinapakita ni
Ratchet
Tito
joint,
Jomar. Ayun,
yeah.
no?
Yes,
Yung ratchet
exactly.
joint ng gumaganon.
Mm-mm.
That's
Oh.
something that I think was lost just because of production na we
Mhm.
need to save.
Mhm.
We need to save on production just to make maximize profit.
Mhm.
That is why I am yung parang sobrang choosy ko. Parang
Mhm.
piling-pili ako when it comes to robots. Like I don't collect everything
Mhm.
unless it relates to me.
Mhm.
Just to share.
Mhm.
Here you go. Here you go. Yun,
This is
Yeah, that's it.
Yan ang masarap.
Yun.
this is
Hindi ko pala
play-
hilig yung flex coach.
Anniversary? Anniversary Voltron?
Blitzwave Voltron.
Oops, it is. Yeah.
I also have the anniversary naka-display doon, but I chose this one kasi medyo oversized.
Mhm.
This is the
Tala.
Blitzway one.
Oo, yan yun. Oo nga. Maganda yan eh. Actually, yan yung magandang
Grabe.
klase niya eh.
I love this figure. I didn't want to miss out on this one.
Mhm.
Teka,
For those-
medyo naririnig ko yung echo.
Yeah, sorry about that. For those of you who are on the audio part of the podcast, we are looking at Palitz showing off his Lion Force Voltron toy.
Yan. Ito yung Lion Force Voltron talaga na I said I cannot miss out. Kasi oversized, I feel like this is era proper. Kasi at the time parang lahat sobrang laki for us. Kasi maliit tayo nun eh. So
Yeah.
anything that we see, it was oversized. So what nung nagkaroon ako ng opportunity, I said, I'm gonna get this. And when I got this, immediately opened it, displayed it, played with it.
Gumanong ka.
Tito Jomar, alam mo yan. Alam mo
my
yung feeling na yun.
Hindi kasi
When
ganun din
you-
nung nakuha ko sa akin eh. Gumanong din ako.
I mean, like, ako, as a Filipino, syempre Voltes 5 tayo lumaki. Pero nung bata kasi ako, when I watch Voltron, yung mata ko, kung gaano ko lumaki, na parang Voltron kid ako. As much
Okay.
as a
Of course,
Filipino
yeah.
I am, I'm a Voltron kid.
Yes.
So when I got the opportunity to open this one, nung nilalaro ko na siya,
Parang award
I was
trophy lang
playing
pag
it.
ginahawakan ni Sir Charles.
Mm.
Award trophy, no?
Kaya nga eh.
Diba?
Thank you for the
Parang-
academy.
Parang, diba? Look at
Talagang achievement.
Parang achievement eh, no?
And I
So,
would never
Sir Charles,
imagine.
so how many times did you recite the
The
mantra?
intro from days
Countless.
long ago.
Before the
Countless. Parang timeless gamers.
Yes.
Timeless.
From
Timeless
days of
kung
long
ina
ago.
na yan.
From uncharted
Yes.
regions in the universe comes a
Hell
legend.
yes.
you know. Boses na boses eh.
More
Diba?
feet and legs,
Kinikilabutan ako Tito Joel ah.
arms and body.
Yun, ganyan na ganyan yung ginawa mo kay Batman ah.
Ito, I would say, the missus would kill me if I didn't show this off. And of course, it's significant para kay Jo.
Yun.
Gem, yun na nga. Naging kalaban din ng Gem and the Holograms yung Barbie. It was
Hell
very,
yeah.
Actually, it looked more like Barbie than Gem.
That's true. That's very true. And the ano, yung mga accessories niya, they were different sizes. So hindi siya cross-compatible with Barbie. So talagang kalaban siya. If they didn't plan on fighting with with Barbie, they would have made the accessories the same size so that they could have
True. Mm.
different accessories from Barbie. Pero hindi, diretso laban sila. And Gem was significant to the missus because it showed strong female power na sure she was disadvantaged in the beginning dahil nawala yung parents niya, pero yun, she fought hard, she rose up beyond it. So that's part of that's part of the 80s. You
Yun ang
rise up
nakakatawa dyan,
above
no?
your
Yung
Alin
nakakatawa
yan?
nga dyan, Tito Joel, Nung panahon
Alin yan,
kasi
Joma?
ng yung sa Barbie and tsaka sa Gem,
Mm.
I remember before na may lawsuit ang Gem dun sa Barbie. Ay, dun
Oh,
sa,
yes.
nilawsuit sila Ang
Mm.
nilaban nila na differences nila is yung storya lang, kung saan background niya galing.
Yes.
Yun ang
Mm.
nanalo
That's true.
ang Gem.
Yes.
That's
Barbie
very true.
never had a show.
Right.
Until
That's
much
true.
later na
Yeah.
until much later.
Gem was the OG.
Yes,
To be
agreed.
honest,
Gem was the
uh,
OG Bishojo, okay.
Mm.
No, I mean, ito lang so
Of
Mattel
course.
did Barbie. You would
You're
think
right.
that they would create something like a show, just like what they did with G.I. Joe,
That's
just like
true.
what they
Right.
did with Transformers.
Right.
So where's the where was the where was the Barbie show?
Show.
Nothing.
Right.
So because they were so convinced that they didn't really need a show to push the product.
Mhm.
Barbie is just Barbie, right? Okay, so gumawa sila ng another show
Mhm.
to cater more for the girls aside from Barbie because
Mhm.
we need something. We need the cartoon to as a designation for the girls as well. That's why we had Gem.
Mhm.
And aside and hindi lang naman nila and with the storyline naman kasi with Gem and the Holograms, it was never so derivative na the very essence of a typical angsty girl behavior.
Yeah.
No, they were on their early 20s dealing with real life situations.
Right.
They have adventures, dealing with property damage, dealing with libel, attempted murder. It was never really for
Yeah,
kids.
it was not for
Totoo
kids.
lang.
Mm-mm. Oh no, the thing
That
about
was
it
the
is
weird thing.
to
That was
interject
the
with
weird
Tito.
thing.
To
I
interject
love
what
that you
Joe says.
included that.
Yeah, to
You got
interject what Joe
you
says.
also got you get your romance, and it was very progressive at the time. You got Shayna, the dark skinned foster sister,
Yes.
and you
Hell
got
yeah.
Asha, the Asian foster sister. So
Yes.
each of them have their own character arcs. They were never just there as background characters. The writers were smart enough to include diversity, to include each
Hell
each
yeah.
character have their own backstories and personalities. They were
Absolutely,
never
yeah.
just there as backup lang for Gem.
Yep.
Mhm. Well, the thing about it is, I don't even know where all this squawking by mga pawok is coming from. We had diversity up the wazoo back in the 80s. We could
Hell
handle
yes.
very very mature topics. We could handle diversity. Heck, everybody was our friend and brother. So in the end, all this manufactured conflict is just nakakarindi sa ating mga ears from the 80s. Now I'd like to talk to the last two people right now. I'd like to get the point of view of JDM, who's the youngster. Can you I'd like the youngster of our group, one of the youngsters of our group. He might be young in terms of years, but in terms of maturity, he's way up there. I'd like to ask JDM, I know your fascination with the 80s and 80s toys and everything like that. What are the lessons that you can pick up from our conversations here in this panel, JDM? Is there something significant that you're picking up from our memories, from our feelings, from our emotions, from 80s toys? I'd like to ask Juan de Marcos, JDM.
Ako kasi, I don't consider myself as 80s kid kasi when I was mga 6 years old, doon talaga ako nagkaroon ng childhood talaga. And although may mga pa rin Parang kasi yung early 90s is extension din siya ng ano, ng 80s no? May mga TV shows, may mga toys, gano'n. Kaya alam ko yung mga yung mga tawag nun, yung mga kinalakayan ng mga 80s kids. And then it's good to hear kasi yung based sa mga kinikwento ninyo. Parang ganun din, similar lang din yung similar lang din yung mga experiences ko sa inyo. Nasa early 90s pero napapanood ko pa yung mga yung mga toys andun pa rin kasi yung mga toys hindi naman lahat yan nabibili. Kaya binibenta pa rin nila up
True.
until early, 'di ba?
Mm. Just to support you, JDM, no? Sa Philippines kasi, at the time ng 90s, medyo delayed tayo eh. We're delayed by a decade.
We were.
So whatever that is happening in the 80s sa US, it's happening in the 90s. Kaya ako, personally, that's why I experienced Atari, the Atari 2600, na-experience ko din yung mga time ng 80s sa US. As much as we want to be, at the time, anything that's happening sa US, na gusto nating ma-experience like the Transformers, it was happening to us in the 90s, to be honest.
Totoo naman.
To be perfectly bland.
Parang
Very
yung mga
true.
pinaglumaan nila, binibigay lang sa...
Exactly, that's what's happening eh. Nung time ng
Not wrong,
80s
not
sa
wrong, not
US,
Oh.
in the 90s, even early 2000s, we're still late by 10 years.
Hindi kasi-
We literally caught up. I think nag-catch up lang tayo early 2010.
Very true. I
Hindi
agree.
kasi nangyari doon, yung signal ng mga shows doon, it shoots to the moon, iikot ng ilang taon sa moon bago pumunta. Yun ang reason.
To the moon, ganun ba yan?
Actually, I would
Actually,
say,
nalala ko sa
I would say, naging patas na ang lahat when the internet really went off.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, that's
2015.
true.
Like I think it's 2015, 2016. I think that's the time na nag okay na lahat, but at the time na nung buhay tayo like 1990s, we were
Nothing.
still living in the 1980s sa
True.
Philippines.
Some would say that I still live in the 1980s right now. I personally live in the 1980s. But
Let's go back to
sinabi
Sir
niya,
JDM.
Mm-mm.
To what he was saying.
JDM, meron lang ako gusto idagdag.
Oh, yeah,
Actually,
okay.
The one thing lesson that we learned from toys is yung paano natin sila pahalagahan. Kasi napansin ko kasi sa inyo, lahat ng mga toys na way back na meron kayo is binigay sa inyo.
Yes.
So hindi natin siya napahalagaan dahil unang-una, bigay lang siya sa atin. So hindi siya galing sa sariling bulsa mo. That is
That's
why
true.
ngayon, na may pera ka na at nakakabili ka na, pag hinawakan ng kung sino man yan at nasira yan, syempre sasama loob mo. Kasi
naman.
pinaghirapan mo na yung pinambili mo nung laruan na yun.
Kahit ako, nung bata ako, ganun pa rin ako.
Kaya,
Ako rin eh.
ang purpose lang talaga nito para sa atin is to teach millennials nowadays. Kung bibili kayo ng laruan, ingatan nyo siya. Kung bigay siya ng magulang nyo, bigay siya ng tito nyo or tita nyo, pahalagaan nyo yung laruan kasi one thing for sure, pag in the future, pag tumaas na yung value niya, ang laki ng panghihinayang mo dyan.
That's true. That's very true. Isa nga eh, we haven't even gotten to talk about the other side of the globe. Yun na nga, Hello Kitty. Yun na nga, sabi ni Mrs. kailangan i-feature ko kasi importante sa childhood niya ito, yung Hello Kitty. Eh. Ito yung mga Sanrio, yung mga Sanrio shops, yung mga
Mascaro.
Hoy, sino may trolls?
yung
Ako,
trolls.
Rocky.
Ayata ako ng trolls noon eh. No?
Trolls.
Yeah.
Wala ako.
Eto. I'm going to speak naman to the other side of the marketing equation naman. I'd like to talk to Jay about his point of view naman as somebody who is potentially providing everybody with access to the memories that they lost way back when. Jay, ano naman yung masasabi mo regarding kung ano yung magiging ability ninyo bilang marketers, bilang part of the people who do the supply part of it? Is it something important to you, not just because of the profitability aspect, but also because you're helping these people recover their memories?
Sa
Mambudol
ngayong
pa na mambudol.
ewan ko lang Tito Joel ngayon since bago lang din ako sa business when it comes to toys. Pero for me kasi, kaya ako rin siya pinasok is because yun din yung passion ko talaga. Yung reliving my own memories with these toys na yung masasayang moments, playing with them, having them na tipong nawawala ako rin dahil yung mga parts na ano, careless ka pag bata ka eh. Like there's this impulse na kapag bago, I want to play with this, tapos papakita ako sa friends ko. Pero ngayon kasi dahil yun nga, dahil as you get older, you do appreciate yung hindi lang yung value, kumbaga yung memories na binigay sa iyo ng bata ko ng mga laruan na yun.
Ano yan, marketing ba yan?
Oh.
Ano ba yung shop mo? Promote natin ng rekta.
Mamaya.
Oo. At the shameless plug portion din.
Mamaya i-promote natin yan. Yung kasi
Tinitignan ko na nga dito eh.
Guys,
20k lang yung ano, di ba? Yung Boltin box na yan. 20k lang.
There you go.
5K nga lang sa akin yan. 5K
yung
lang.
value ng memories na yun, hindi ganun katumbas yun eh.
Yan ang marketing.
Yung mapapangiti.
Importante
Okay na ba yung mga medyo 40k lang?
There you go. Hindi, importante sa atin na not just sa ating mga audience is the fact that the people who are willing to provide us with our memories back dahil ma-recover natin. Importante din sa equation yan eh. Dahil kapag wala sila, wala tayong mahihita. Kundi yung mga sarili nating memories lang talaga. Wala yung mga physical aspects. So, importante rin yung mga suppliers sa atin because they know that there's a demand.
May ano pala ako, habang nagsasalita si Jen, no? May kinento ako sa'yo kung pwede mo i-share lang.
Oh yeah, let's see. Let's do that one. If I can do a quick presentation.
Ganito ang marketing, Jen.
Yes. There you go. Let's do that one. So how do I? If Joe can help me out with this one, there you go.
Guys, available pala to sa Shopple Emporium.
Yun. Actually,
Extreme Segway.
yes.
Ina-advance promotion na agad.
Which is I'll be the first to admit, ako ang kumausap kay Jet tungkol sa dito sa bagay na to. I ordered from him na. I ordered the Centurions. They the Centurions.
I don't want to be the devil's the devil's advocate.
Go ahead. It's
Mahal ko kayong lahat. Okay. Ayoko manira ng business pero order na kayo.
There you go. The thing about it is it's important. Another important aspect of it is a lot of the toys that we had way back when aren't in production anymore. You can't even find them for a cheap price on eBay and the market.
Yeah.
Some of them are just being produced by naman natin hindi. They're bootlegs. Pero they're good bootlegs and they are being produced.
Tito Joe, this is something that I do. I personally have a bootleg, yung Spawn ko. Na 1/6 scale. Technically it's a 1/6 scale but it's a bootleg. But in the collector's market, it's something that you should collect because it's something na
it's true.
It represents, right?
It's true.
Etong ramen toys, ayoko maging mapanira, no? This is a podcast. Of course,
buti na lang, sasabihin mo yan.
But this is an honest take. This is an honest take. I don't want to ruin any friendship.
Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Huwag tayo magkasiraan. But this is, personally, the Ramen Toys release was under par for me.
Okay.
It didn't live up to the expectation. I personally have it.
Oh, you do? Okay, there you go.
I personally have it. I pre-ordered because I was expecting something. You know what I mean?
Yes, like with impact.
It was the same thing that I was gonna do, of course. But
it sinasabi mo, it's not the same as the what they released in the 80s. Hindi ganun
It
yung
wasn't the same as the hype.
It
wasn't
Eto
the
kasi
same
yun.
as the hype.
Oo.
It wasn't
Eto
the same
sabi-
as the hype that they released na
Mm.
they promised. The quality that they showed on the advertisement didn't live up to the hype. I
Well, that's
understand.
fine.
Ramen
Mm.
Toys was they produced the advertisement. I
Yeah.
I support anything that
Mm.
is nostalgic and
Mm.
you know that would appeal to me. I
Mm.
ordered it. It came to me. It just didn't live up to the hype. That's the honest opinion that I have.
Yeah. Okay
Understandable,
naman.
understandable.
Oo,
And that's
understandable.
it's a perfectly valid criticism naman talaga.
I don't want to ruin anything.
no.
Sergey.
No, it's fine,
I
it's fine, it's
apologize.
fine.
But
Oh.
but for me, it just didn't live up to the hype that they made all of it because I I have a lot of toy groups na I am a member of, and they
Okay.
were hyping it all around.
Really?
And
Okay.
we were so hyped. Even me personally,
Okay.
I was hyping it. I was asking friends, "Oh, let's order this. Let's have a group buy for the UAE. Let's order." And when it came, it just didn't live up to it. Every one of us was disappointed. Even some of my friends like asked me, "What happened?" Like it just didn't live up to that
Well,
hype.
yun na nga. I guess that's the important thing about it. The quality of the toys from way back in the 80s was was in some aspects was way better than what we're getting right now. Like I showed kanina with the Veritech fighters, they're absolute, they're garbage compared to the original 80s stuff. But what you're paying for right now is not so much the fact that you're getting the quality of it. You're basically reacquiring a memory that you had of way back when. It might not be
yun
the
yung
same,
ano
it might not be the same quality, but it certainly kind of looks a lot like what you had before
Right.
or what you kind of wished that you had before. So in the end, ang habol mo ron is the satisfaction of something that you acquired na hiniling mo dati ng bata ka na hindi mo nakuha, pero somehow meron ka pa rin ngayon. It might not be the very
Right,
best,
right,
but
right,
it's still
right.
something.
Ako naman ano eh.
Ito, just to clarify, if
Ah,
you want something that looks like it, it's perfect.
Yes.
It's fucking perfect.
Yes.
If you want something that looks like it, it's perfect.
But if you want to play with it,
right, exactly.
yeah.
If you know, as a collector like me, it comes to a niche. Someone like me, someone like Tito Joe, like if you're a collector, you know it. Like it doesn't live up to the expectation. We have higher expectation. You don't have to live up to our expectation. But if I would say, I would give it a rating just to be fair.
Oh yeah, the perfect.
I would give it a 7 out of 10.
7 out
Not-
of 10. That-
It's
very
a fair.
Yeah.
It's a very
Oh.
fair expectation, but it doesn't. It's not a 10 out of 10, but it's a 7 out of 10 for me.
I'd
But
still take it.
it's all right.
I'd still
Yeah,
take
you
it. I
would
mean,
take it.
I would still take it because of the fact that I know if I were to go to the Libertad or Avenida and find one of the Chinese bootlegs na
Yun nga.
instead of
Yeah.
Centurions,
Oh, yeah.
I would say the Decade Men or something like that. I would
Just
be
the fact
would
that
be
Ako, as long as hindi siya Divisoria toys.
Oo, yeah, exactly.
Na merong
To be honest,
I mean, I have it.
No.
I have
Oh.
it.
May mga
That's why-
magaganda sa Divisoria, pero yung sa bangketa, I mean.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. That's the right term for
Nagigets
it.
ko yung
Bangketa.
nagigets ko yung sinasabi ni Lee kasi ako myself yung NECA Ninja Turtles maraming bootleg doon tinitignan ko
Oo,
talaga
oo.
kung totoo yan.
Mm.
Pero it also boils down to sabi niyo nga nostalgia.
Yes.
Saan ka ba makakukuha ng Centurions na original?
Yeah, hell yeah.
No.
That's
At kung
actually that's
makakita ka,
that's
mahal.
the first
Oh,
one.
if you're
That's
willing.
the first
Mahal.
one.
Diba?
Nag-source ako.
Technically,
Yeah.
it's bootleg.
Diba?
Technically, it's bootleg. But in reality, in the collecting industry, with what I'm seeing right now,
Yes.
it's the first one that they did as a nostalgic reproduction.
And
Which
in
makes
in the-
sense.
in the absence of an official release, it is
Yes.
the official release.
And
Yun yung-
as a collector, it
Mm.
will boil down to personal
Oh.
preference.
Yes,
If you
absolutely.
don't mind
It's okay.
na
For
medyo
me, it's
na
okay.
ganyan,
Mm.
then why not?
Yeah, in my-
pero ako myself, I wouldn't buy the NECA bootlegs.
Okay,
Myself,
there
ako
you
lang
go.
naman yun,
Ah,
diba?
ako naman, like I said, in my case naman, I bought this from Jay and I'm waiting for it to come in. It doesn't matter if, as long as it's not banqueta level quality, like
yes.
Marcel,
Yeah,
na-
no,
na-
no, no.
na-
Just to
Okay.
clarify, just to
Pressure.
clarify to all the
Mm.
viewers, it's
Mm.
not bangketa level. It's
Mm.
it's a collectible level.
Mhm.
At that.
Okay.
It's,
Oh, that's
it's
fine.
just that it
Maarte
didn't
lang
look
si
up-
Lee. Maarte lang si Lee. Sa totoo lang.
Very picky
Ah,
si
yun
Lee.
yun.
By the way,
Not
isingit ko lang
knowing
din.
me.
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh.
Yeah, Jay,
Isingit ko
I'd
lang
like to
din
hear from
as a toy seller din.
you. Mm-mm.
Sa totoo lang, collector din naman ako ng toys na pihikan din sa itsura, sa details.
Yes.
Ayan. Pero ngayon kasi, ang problema kasi sa mga modern toys ngayon is yung materials na ginagamit nila.
That's very
Oh,
Like
true.
most of the company, kung
It's not like
i-compare nyo
before.
yung toys before nung
It's not like
90s,
before.
nung 80s quality. When it comes to details, yung itsura, yung weapons,
Yes.
quality. Unlike now kasi, ang importante lang is yung production nga. Sabi nga ni
I love you for that.
Palits.
Mm. There
I
you
love
go.
you for
Ito,
I love you for
best-
saying that. Now
No.
I'm gonna buy something
Oh.
from you. When
Yeah, there you go.
So, ibig sabihin, nung hindi niya pa sinasabi, wala kang bibilin sa kanya, gano'n?
Hindi na ako
Ayos
kasi
yan.
nag-uusap na kami sa Bolton box.
Okay.
Nag-uusap na kami sa Bolton box before ka pa pumasok.
Yeah, I think Jay has a final point. Jay has a
Oh.
final point.
Kasi, for example, itong Darth Vader na to. Fan ako ng Star Wars. Fan ako ni Darth
Well,
Vader.
yeah.
Pero kung i-compare mo sa KD Mill, example lang yung
Yeah.
quality nung figure talaga mismo ni Darth Vader, ibang-iba yung sa lightsaber niya, dito galing sa
That's
sa
true. Mm.
sa mga fast food, di ba? So, best comparison lang din when it comes to the quality ng toys ngayon. Karamihan lang talaga. Karamihan, hindi ko sinasabing lahat. Karamihan.
Yes.
Right,
Is
right.
nagda-downgrade na. Dahil importante sa hala is production to sell, to sell,
Yes.
to sell, to sell.
Yes.
Not
At saka
And-
dati, Je, ang ano kasi dati is marami pa kasi talagang resources eh.
That's
Very
true.
rich ang
Yun din.
resources sa rubber, sa ano. At saka, ang pinakamasakit lang
I wouldn't
is yung
agree.
regulation. Yung regulation.
I wouldn't agree
Regulation
na
ang
mas
pinaka-ano
madami
eh.
ano.
Yung,
But
yung
with the
resources.
regulation.
Oh, yun. Yung regulations
I
kasi. isa rin
would
yun.
agree more sa regulations than
sa regulation.
the resources. Kasi right now, we have all the resources.
Sabagay.
We still have the same resources, but I think dahil dun sa mga alam niyo pa paano nagbago ang mundo, yung mga tipong lumabas yung mga advocates na against sa pagputol ng puno, pagputol ng kung ano ganyan.
Oh,
So,
yung klase ng
they
plastic na
regulated
ginagamit.
everything, eh. No, they regulated everything, and then isa pa kasi is nagmahal yung commodities. Yun.
Okay, I guess so.
I would agree. When it comes to the commodities side,
Yun,
nung
nagmahal pa.
sa toy
Oo.
production talagang sobrang nagmahal. I would agree.
And I will final.
Dadagdag lang ako Tito John.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead, Elvis.
Pero, kasi, babalansin ko lang babalansin
Oh,
ko
yeah.
lang. May point si Charlie, may point din si Je, may point din si Joma. Pero in
Yes.
generalization kasi, ang point kasi ni Charlie is the quality itself as a collector himself and also yung iba sa atin dito is collector. Big deal talaga sa kanila yung materials na ginagamit and details
Of course.
of
Yeah.
the toy na kinokolekta nila, di ba? With regards in the business side naman, sa business side tayo. Wala akong pakialam kung anong materials yung gagamitin ko. Basta hindi naman kami naglalaro.
Basta gusto mo to.
Hindi, wag ka bumili.
Oo.
Hindi, totoo.
Tama.
Kasi sa pag ano eh.
Ano, bibili ka ba? Hindi.
Ngayon,
Bibili ka ba? Hindi.
collector ka, kung ikaw collector, alam mo kung ano yung bibilin mo, di ba? Pero on the other side, sa business, wala akong pakialam kung ang materials gamitin ko, wala kayong pakialam.
Oh.
Bibili kayo
Parang
ng
yung
hindi.
Angus
Ayaw
burger
mo.
lang yan eh. Angus burger lang yan.
Parang ikaw lang yan.
Dito
Parang ikaw lang yan eh.
quality beef lang.
Ay, nako.
Quality
Well,
bit lang.
and of course, let's not forget, ng mga quality rin, not all the original toys from back in the 80s were the top quality. Some of them were actually trash. It's just our
Yeah.
memories are we're just remembering them fondly. So in the end of it, my recommendation is if you find something that you like, if it's within your budget, go get
Buy
it
it.
because of the fact that it brings you happiness and joy. And if it doesn't, then that's perfectly fine too. Oh yeah, so let's wrap it up. I'm tossing the final word to Gem RPG.
Tapos na tayo.
Yeah,
Tapos na
that's
tayo.
hard enough to say.
Di pa natin na-over lahat.
And there's,
Hindi pa natin
if the
natatapos
audience
lahat.
if the
No,
audience wants it, we can do a part
We,
two.
we, we,
but,
can, we will ask one of our producers, Sir Red. Do we still have time?
Yeah,
Can we,
go ahead.
can we spare 30
3
minutes?
hours
30 more
na.
minutes?
Go ahead.
3 hours na. Dire-diretso na tayo.
Actually, I'm learning a lot for a
Mm.
collector like Charles. Ay,
Mhm.
like Palits. Kasi, basically, tama nga kayo. As a collector, kung yun naman yung gusto mo, bibilin mo, in spite kung
Yes.
ano mang yung...
Yes.
Kung, in
Kung ano
spite
ba
kung
different
ano mang
level kasi yan eh.
materyales.
Ako
May kasi
nagre-reklamo.
level eh.
Yun yung sinasabi ko eh. Ako nagre-reklamo, pero binili ko.
Yan,
There you go.
exactly.
That's
Can you get
Ganun
that?
yun eh.
Kasi ang dami nagre-reklamo, hindi naman nila binili.
Kaya nga.
That's the problem.
Yung nagre-reklamo,
with the
di ba?
current generation. Magre-reklamo ka, di mo naman binili. I,
Mm.
myself, katulad ng ginagawa ko sa G3,
Mm-mm.
I need to know
Mhm.
what can I complain about it.
Ah.
I should have it. Kasi ganun ka maging, kailangan mo i-review according sa alam mo. Hindi according sa nakikita mo lang online.
Ayun, Joe would like that.
Katulad din naman ni Sir Jepoy, yes, you complained, but nakuha ko na yung pera mo.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Tama ka dyan, sure.
At the end of the day,
Actually,
That's
Charlie has a point doon sa side na yon kasi unang-una, 'di ba? Kaya ako yun binili para mayroon akong mareklamo sa'yo. Para lalo mong
Hindi,
pagandahin. In the
Hindi,
business
hindi
side ko,
ganon.
Lalo mong pagandahin.
Binili ko
It's not about
yun kasi nagustuhan ko in
Yeah.
spite na
Exactly.
may ganun.
Hindi ganon. Binili ko yon kasi may pera ako.
Yun. Ayun. No. A very valid point.
Binili ko
Yes.
kasi kaya ko.
Ang reklamo ko,
Kasi
wala
kaya ko.
akong pera.
No. Very valid point. The thing about it is, tama naman sabi ni Notch, ngayon binibili na natin yung mga gusto natin dahil kaya natin. Kaya na natin
Exactly.
ngayon. Dahil
Purchasing
umabot na
power.
tayo sa point na nung bata tayo, wala tayong pera, pero gusto natin. Ngayon, nakikita na natin kung anong gusto natin, pwede na natin bilhin dahil kaya na natin. At yun yung mga inasam natin nung bata tayo. Ngayon, to Boss Jeff's point naman, sinasabi niya na pinapakita mo sa pagbili mo ng bagay na yun, it might not be the very best quality, but it signals ron sa mga makers at saka sa mga suppliers na ito yung gusto ng mga tao. It's kind of signals na maybe in the future there will be more of this kind of thing for good or for bad. Maybe they'll improve the quality, maybe they'll maintain it. Pero the fact is, signal ng mga bumili ng 80s Commanders na Centurions toys that there is a demand for 80s toys, particularly
Parang
the
yung
Centurions.
Angus beef. Angus beef burger talaga ni Tito Popoy's Burgers. Iba
Yes.
talaga yung quality.
Yun, sige, Palits, yan, you were about to say something.
here's my thing. The
Oo,
reason
go
why I said what I said is that I want something to be improved.
Yes.
Not to cut it off na itigil na. Here's my reason why. Yung nabili ko na meron na ako, it will increase in value when they re-release something that's improved. That's a collector.
First edition.
Di ba? Kasi first edition yun eh. Diba?
Legally.
Scalper.
Just
I think I have
listen.
to improve on what you're saying.
For
Kaya
me,
Nelly,
for me,
dagdag ko lang to.
when I said what I said, is that I liked it initially. I didn't like it when I got it. Can you improve on it? Now
Yes.
it's your move as a company. If you improve on it, now what I have increases in value because everyone else will buy the new releases.
Yes.
Ito iulitin ko lang
That's the idea eh. Kasi for me,
i-reiterate ko lang. Non-stop.
hindi kasi, ang dami kasi nagsasabi minsan. Hindi, ito sa toy community ngayon, when you say something negative about the toy release, you're just being negative because
You're being a hater, ganon.
You're being a hater.
Well,
Fuck you! I paid for something. I want to get something that I like.
Yeah, ayun.
Right?
True.
Now,
Basically, sa mga true collectors like us,
exactly.
kahit
I've
anong
been-
I agree with
yan,
Francis
gustuhan
dyan,
mo,
oh.
bibilhin
I've
mo.
been
May,
collecting for
ano
years.
ako may dadagdag lang ako, no?
Yeah, go ahead.
Iba kasi ang iba rin kasi ang collector eh. There are
May Angus
collectors
burger.
that collect toys dahil gusto talaga nila kolektahin. As in talaga yun na, kokolektahin nila. And there are
Yes.
collectors that collect because of value.
Mm.
Ayun.
Ha?
Mm.
Magkaiba
Not
yun.
everyone.
Asan ba yun?
Sabi ko nga eh.
Now,
Pero magkaiba yun.
Ah.
Kasi ako for myself, I
Mm.
collect toys because I collect them. Meaning,
But
sabi
would
ko
you
nga yun
collect
dito eh.
trash?
Wait lang.
That's the question.
Wait lang.
But would you collect trash?
Wait
Kasi
lang.
yun yung
Hindi kita-
patututuan
hindi
mo eh.
kita in-interrupt,
Kasi
ha?
ang sinasabi
Hindi kita
mo,
in-interrupt, ha? Hindi kita
Ay,
in-interrupt.
okay,
Wait ka
okay.
lang. Relax ka
Oh,
lang.
no. Sige, let's
Galit ka
let's
na
hear
naman
what
eh.
Notch.
Galit ka na
Let's
naman
hear
eh.
what Notch's point is. Sige,
Oo.
go ahead.
Ang sinasabi ko lang
Galit ka
is, ang sinasabi ko lang is, there are two different kinds of collectors.
Go ahead.
Diba? These collectors that collect dahil nostalgia or whatever, and
Mm.
these collectors that collect because of, nostalgia and value.
Because they
Value.
they speculate. They
Kasi-
speculate.
Yeah.
Mm.
Not really to speculate, but also,
Mm.
in time, iisipin
Ah.
nila, tataas yung value niyan, baka
Mm.
ibenta ko.
Mm.
Lee,
Oo.
Pero iba yung iba nga.
Ito totoo.
Kasi
Ano yun, Raymond?
there's a lot of
Sige,
different
mga
collectors.
Mm.
There's just not two.
Mm.
There is
Marami,
Wait lang,
marami.
wait lang, wait lang. Di pa ako
Madami,
tapos,
madami.
Di pa ako tapos. Okay, fine. Oh,
Okay,
marami.
okay. Sige, go ahead.
Pero I'm stating two. Marami.
Kaya
pero
kami
I'm
taga
just
G3
stating
kami
two.
nagtatalo, no?
Magkikitin ko nga kayong dalawa.
Magpapigil na kasi. Ganito yun. Lee has been collecting for years now.
Okay.
Kaya alam niya to, 'di ba? He has the entire experience. Ako,
Yes.
I've been collecting for, months. Wala pang isang taon ata, no?
Utot
Pero-
mo!
Wala pa.
Wala
Kasi,
pa. Pero,
kasi nagpunta pa siya dito eh.
Okay.
pero, ito yung na-observe ko nung time
Mm,
na nung
okay.
kolekta ako. O fine, sabi ni Lee, maraming iba-ibang collectors. That's true.
Mm.
'Di ba? Totoo naman 'yan. Pero from my observation kasi,
Mm.
I'm not saying na itong mga to are resellers. Iba kasi yung resellers eh. That's different.
Iba ang
Ah,
category yan.
Pero
Yes.
pero sa mga nakikita ko kasi, like for myself, ang
Mm.
kinukuha ko are those na gusto ko lang talaga.
Mhm.
Ninja Turtles, ganyan. May nakuha ko Mortal Kombat, binenta ko rin. Pero yung ibang nakuha ko na Storm Collectibles, hindi ko binebenta kasi gustong-gusto ko siya, no? And there are those. At hindi ko sinasabi, ikaw yan, Lee, magagalit ka na naman.
Okay.
Sinasabi ko lang to.
May narinig
Sinasabi
ka!
ko lang.
Ba't agad? May narinig ka ba?
Tinan mo, hindi ka na naman nagpapaano, ha? Wait lang,
Okay.
relax ka lang dyan.
Sige, relax lang. Sige, go
And
ahead.
there are those
Mm.
na bibili
Mhm.
because of maybe trend, because of ganyan. It might also increase in value.
Mhm.
'Di ba may ganun eh, may ganun.
Totoo
Hindi ko
naman,
sinasabing
totoo,
bebenta
totoo.
nila,
Totoo yan, totoo.
pero bakit mo naman kasi iisipin na mag-i-increase siya ng in value kung hindi mo naman siya ibebenta? That's my question.
Mas
Diba?
bagay.
Kasi yung pinag-uusapan ng 80s Commander, para sa akin, yung pangalan pa lang mali na eh. 80s Commander, diba?
Yeah,
Mali na ako doon. But
Mm-mm.
then again, if you're into that thing,
Mm.
go ahead, diba?
Is
Sabi
that
nga ni
actually
Lily,
a bootleg?
Actually,
Yes, it
ito,
is.
sabi nga ni Lily,
ito,
parang
bootleg.
kung gusto mo, bilhin mo. Kung hindi mo gusto, edi, wag mo bilhin or bilhin mo, tignan mo. Kung reklamo ka, edi, sorry.
Ito,
Wala
from the
tayong
seller's
magawa.
point, Jay, I'd like to hear your point of view on this one.
ito example din na as Palit said na wala rin ako sinisira kasi alam ko
Mm-mm.
may toys silang nilalabas ngayon. Jollibee. Di ba ang Jollibee may collab ngayon? May collab siya ngayon with Funko Pop. Like, ewan ko, parang buwan ng wika, merong limited version ng Jollibee.
Jollibee, yeah.
Na ganon. Hindi naman lahat ng tao na bumibili nun fan ni Jollibee. Most of them
Sa bagay.
is for the reselling point
The
of
hype.
view.
Underselling and the
Oo.
hype.
Yun.
Totoo yan.
Oo.
Okay.
Nasa
Right.
nasa
Kasi
group din
so
ako ng isang Jollibee yung mga lumang stuff nila. They're even
No.
reselling it. Yung mga vintage.
Right.
Okay. Hmm.
Hinan ko
So
pa yung
tama
akin.
ka, tama
Ito.
nga yung point. Siguro tama talaga yung point of view ni Notch.
Mhm.
Hindi, actually, tama ang point of view ni Notch at saka ni Palits.
Ni Palits.
Those are different point of view. Kaya nga
Yes.
doon sa magdadagdag ako doon about doon sa collectors. Kasi sa collectors, tandaan natin, meron mga tao din kasing collector na they live in the 80s, hindi nila nabili yon. And then come 2020, hindi pa rin nila kayang bumili. They go doon sa mas bootleg.
Yeah.
So we cannot deprive them from their memories, di ba?
Tito Joe, let me just clarify something kasi
Mm.
hindi ako against sa bootleg.
Alam na,
Let me just clarify.
alam ko naman.
I ordered 80s Commanders. The reason why, it's the closest thing that I would have for that figure, right?
That's exactly it.
It looked amazing for me. It looked what I wanted it to be. Kasi, syempre, ako, as a collector, I wanted to have something visionary.
Ako personally, alam mo,
makikita mo, holy shit, nagkaroon ng release. And it's not official, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
As a collector, I wanted to have it. The only reason that I have for the review as an honest reviewer as myself is that the quality. It didn't live up to that expectation. I have bootlegs na third party. It's not actually technically as a collector now, it's not called bootlegs anymore.
Third party.
Third party. Now,
Actually,
as you may know.
Heck, some third-party stuff is much better than the original.
Exactly. Joe.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have right now is a Spawn 1/6 scale na sobrang skill niya is it's almost better than the original.
Ito, Raymond.
30% of my collection ng Transformers are bootlegs or third party. The quality, tapos si Tito Jomar, nagpabili pa sa akin yan. Nagpabili ng Optimus Prime, na Commander. Si Grimlock, na third party. Tapos yung pinadala namin na Starscream. Ayun, tinutuloy yan.
Display, okay.
Ang quality right now ng ibang third party is much better than the original one.
Hell yeah.
Agree.
Yeah, and at the same time, kung talagang collector ka, dahil gusto mo siya, bibilin mo siya in spite na kahit third party pa yan o bootleg pa yan. So,
Hindi mo na iisipin na third party eh. Parang
hindi mo isipin kasi gusto mo siya.
True.
Diba?
Very true. Yeah.
Well, yes, Elvis.
Elvis. Okay, good. Sige. Boss Jeff, I'd like to hear your opinion.
sir, meron lang akong sasabihin.
Okay,
Actually, all of you guys have point. Si Charlie may point, si Notch may point,
Yes.
si Retrofreak may point. Pero kasi, yung kay Charlie kasi, he has to balance the quality and the bootleg. Hindi nga siya against sa bootleg eh. Okay nga siya dun eh. Kaya lang kasi, kung gusto niyong gumawa ng quality, andito kaming toy community. We are the toy fucking community and we would like to review this fucking toy na puta patapon.
Totoo naman yan.
Nagmura, si Palits lang nga pwede.
Bawal ka magmura.
Bawal ka magmura si Palits.
Bawal ka magmura.
Kaya ako lang ba?
Paalam ka ba?
Si Palits lang nagpaalam eh. Bawal ka
Oh
magmura.
my gosh.
Hindi,
Pero hindi.
naintindihan naman Jeff. Kung kumbaga ako
Hindi,
naman
ako sa akin, I don't want to take over the whole podcast, but I appreciate na yung mga sellers nagbebenta ng ganito ganyan. Sir J, I appreciate you're selling it to the Philippines. That's great. Kasi sa akin siguro 7 out of 10 siya. Pero sa iba, maybe it's 10 out of 10. That's kasi personal yun sa akin eh.
It's subjective. It's very subjective.
Subjective. It's very subjective. That's just I want something that I
There
want
you
to
go.
clarify.
Ayan, check what Raymond's showing. That
Actually,
might be
diba?
that might be third party.
Pero yung quality niya,
I don't
third
mind.
party.
Again, I don't mind bootlegs. I don't mind third parties. I don't mind fakes. The thing is, as long as we're enjoying something,
Yes, exactly. That's the point.
if
Totoo
you're
yun.
enjoying what you bought,
Yan.
I don't fucking care. The thing is,
Yes.
it's all about what we are collecting. If you cannot
Exactly.
afford the OG thing, honestly, there are some things that I cannot buy, like for Pokemon cards, I cannot buy the OG thing. because it's too
Oh my
fucking
God.
expensive to make sense.
Oo.
But for people, if you want to start something to collect, if
Mhm.
you want to start something third party or bootleg, I don't fucking care. As
Mhm.
long as you're happy with it,
Mm.
you're satisfied with it, it's fine.
Ito,
Ngayon,
let me just
ako,
interject.
sa
Jomar,
totoo,
Jomar. Mm.
ayun, sa totoo lang, ako yung collector na type ng collector is yung pinipili ko ano yung karapat-dapat na kailangan bilhin ko na yung
Hell yeah.
magandang klase.
Mm.
And then, ano ba yung mga okay lang na third party. Ganun akong style eh. For example,
Hell yes.
yung mga mahal ko na pinalakayan ko, kailangan pucha, ano yan, quality yan. For example,
Original.
Voltes 5. O, Voltes
Yes.
5 yan, number 1. Voltes 5. Mga super robots, kailangan sa akin,
Same.
for me is urig yan dapat. And
Urig,
then
yes.
some other toys,
Oh, yeah.
some other toys like yung Devastator is okay lang kasi maganda naman siya tignan.
TF,
Nandyan.
TF naman talaga kasi yung binobootleg eh.
that's
Kasi
true.
bastardized American eh.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, tapos yung mga ganun, some of the Transformers, not all of them, I think para sa akin, it's worth na bilhin mo ng original. And then some of them
Right.
are for bootleg.
Right.
Right?
Kasi hindi
Hell yeah.
kung hindi ka talaga kung di makapal ang bulsa mo, hindi mo kayang anuhin yan eh. Gawing
Bilhin pa.
original
Exact.
lahat yan.
Parang sa Ninja
Mm.
Turtles ko eh. Yung SNECA nga, di ba? Napili ako eh. Pero,
Yeah.
let's say there are a lot of, hindi nga bootleg, ayaw nga sabihin bootleg eh, pero
Bootleg,
there are a lot of third-party
third part.
superhero figures, like Wolverine, Gambit, Street Fighter ones that I've seen na sobrang ganda. Tapos yung pangalan ni Chun-Li, Kicking Lady. Yung mga
Oh.
ang ganda.
Ina mo.
Ang ganda.
Ano kasi yun, iwas sila for copyright.
Copyright.
Ito nga, ito si
Oo.
Optimus Prime, pero ang
Oo.
pangalan, Commander Leader. Leader.
Commander Leader.
The best thing about bootlegs, no? From the 80s up until the recent time. The bootlegs actually have a market. Kasi
They do.
nagkakaroon,
Yeah, that's true.
madaming bootlegs ngayon. Eto honest
Yun, Starstorm. What is that?
Meron akong
Okay.
collection ng bootleg consoles.
Mm.
From the Good Boy, yung mga
Oh, yeah.
mga
Police station.
Police Station.
Political.
Kasi
Bootleg
for
video
me,
games.
bootleg video games kasi nagkaroon siya ng market eh. May market ng bootleg collectibles. A lot of people don't know, pero nag-i-increase yung value ng bootlegs according to the IP.
Ito, yung binenta sa akin ni Notch, bootleg.
Ano yan? Which one is that one?
Hoy, scammer ka talaga, kalbo!
Hoy! Ulul ka! Anong bootleg? Sa Japan ko mabili yan. Baka suntukin ko yung kalangala mo. Ito isa sa mga
I
bootleg
love you, Notch!
Nagustuhan ko to isang bootleg na to kasi bigay rin to ng kaibigan namin ni Lee, si Jacob Tan.
Okay.
Bigay niya to ng birthday ko. So, halatang-halata naman na bootleg siya kasi bandan
No,
si
it's
Mario.
not bootleg. No! No!
Pero ang ganda
No,
na.
it's
Sige,
not
sige, go,
bootleg.
go.
May bootleg din
No,
ako
this
dito.
is not bootleg. Let me just clarify. This is a
Oh.
Fool's Paradise exclusive. This is an art toy.
Okay.
Let me
Well,
just
sinasabi-
clarify.
Ano daw sinasabi mo, Notch? Anong bootleg?
Kasi banlag eh. And I said,
Banlag.
Hindi siya bootleg. Hindi siya bootleg.
Basta
Yung
ito,
Mario
bootleg
na
yun,
yan
Notch.
na naka-Akira bike, that's
Ah.
fucking expensive.
Lee,
Parang
alam mo
fan
paano ko
art
nalaman, Lee?
something.
Alam mo paano ko nalaman? Kasi tinignan ko nga sa internet and it looks different. Looks different.
I-check mo. Fool's
Hindi ba
Paradise.
hindi ba defect lang yung pagkabanlag niya?
Possibly
Factory defect.
possibly.
Ito, mas mahal yan
And
kung may defect.
these are-
Mas mahal yun.
Ito yung mga
Rare.
panahon na hindi naman ako nakongolekta. Binigay lang sa akin. Sabi ko, syempre tuwan naman ako kasi bigay ito eh, di ba? Pero it's not, I'm not stating out na it's bootleg or what. Ang sinasabi ko lang is, sabi nga ni Lee, di ba, kung enjoy mo, di ba, okay lang. Sa akin,
Yeah.
nagustuhan ko to. Bootleg man o hindi man bootleg, sabi nga ni Lee. Pero this is something that I enjoyed kasi binigay sa akin.
Sabi ni Gami,
Nakakatuwa.
ano
Inspired.
daw, hindi raw siya plumber, karpintero.
Carpintero.
I'm not quite sure kung bootleg yan or hindi. Pero kasi naalala ko yan, yung model na yan, It's Fool's Paradise. It's a designer toy company. So when it comes to designer toys and art toys, it's a totally different avenue. Masyadong mahaba yung pag-uusapan natin when it comes to
Yeah. Well, getting back though, I mean, the whole point of it is, sure, the things that we have now are approximations of what we had in the 80s. Some of them are coming out good quality, bad quality in the end of it. And
hell
as not as and we can all agree on one thing. If you like it, if you enjoy it, go get it, because that brings you joy and it brings back memories. Those are the most important things about 80s toys and the nostalgia that we experience when we see them. Whatever we had before is here again, and they're all starting to come out all over again. So I guess that's the main point. That's the main gist. Tossing it to Gem RPG this time. I'd like to hear her final take on the whole matter.
Kim, sir.
No. Thanks for that, gentlemen. It's okay. So before we reach our 3-hour mark, this will be the best time to do it. Let's just do each of us will do our closing remarks and shameless plug. Okay, if there's anything else that you want to if there's anything else that you want to vent out of frustration about collecting whatsoever, or anything about the 80s toys,
Call it the
nostalgia,
summation.
memory, whatever. Now would be
Call
the
it
best time to
summation
do it.
aspect.
All right,
Yes, go
let's
ahead.
start with Sir JDM. Sir JDM, final words about the toys of the 80s and where can they find you?
Pwede show muna ng mga toys ko noong 80s.
Yeah.
Quick
Sure,
share.
absolutely.
Sarap yan.
Let's see.
Uy, yan ang toy mo.
Ayun, si Raymond ang toy mo for the 80s.
Yeah, nice yan.
Ayan, there you go.
Bale, ito kita. Okay na.
Okay, let's see. Okay, here we go. Let's
So
show
first slide, this one, si Big Boss Man from Hasbro action figure.
How do we? I'd like to. Ayan, there you go.
Yun.
The Big Boss Man,
Oh,
wrestling figures, of
yan.
course. Yes.
Ay, maganda yung mga wrestling dati.
Oo.
Wrestling figures were really good back then.
Yung
oo.
gumaganon pa sila, may pipihitin ka, gumaganon.
Sa naalala ko nito, ito yung first na binili ng papa ko nung galing siya sa abroad. Ayan. Pag unang uwi niya, yun yung binili niya sa akin. So, ayan, one of my first na naalala ko. Tapos itong mga mini wrestlers, ito. Hindi ko makakalimutan to kasi niregalo sa akin.
Meron ako niyan.
Ayun, memory activated. Yo. There you go.
Bakit ko yung kumuha nito kasi niregalo sa akin to. December. Tapos nawala.
Nagnakaw pa nga.
Kasi
May dumekwat yun.
sa mga kalaro ko tapos nung binalikan ko nawala.
Naku.
Ayun.
Ikaw pala yung palaro eh,
Sobrang
ninakaw mo.
galit yung dito ko nun eh.
Alala mo nung nasa bahay tayo nila Chang Nena, di ba?
Oo, kalatsang nena. Oo, dalas
Hindi
nga.
ko na alala na ganyang karami yung mga figures.
Oh, I don't think I remember this one. Which one is this
Next.
one?
Ito yung
Scuba Joe.
yung sa Police
Bazooka
Academy.
Oh, Police Academy. Yeah. Oo, tama.
Yung pangalan nun si
Tackleberry?
limutan ko yung Tackleberry Senior.
Yeah.
Yan. Yung may yung may aviators na yung patrol.
Yes.
O yung matapang.
Bike. Ayan. Oo, yung mahilig sa mga baril.
Mm.
And itong Vitara na Suzuki Vitara na
Oh,
RC.
nice.
Ayan.
I never had one. I wished I had one.
Isa sa inaano ko sa mga kanina na pag-uusapan natin yung mga kanal-kanal. Yan, ilulusong ko sa yung tubig bahayan.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Kasi waterproof.
Something that
Tapos
we would never
nakasakay
do
si,
nowadays.
nakasakay si Donatello, si Leonardo yata,
There you
yung
go.
mga yung mga figures. Ayan.
There you go.
And ito naman yung
Oh, that's a
talagang
good one.
Ito hindi ako nagkaroon.
Mm.
Sana kung may may
Oh, that's
budget
nice.
ako makakabila. Ito yung 89 na Batman eh.
Michael Keaton Batman.
Michael
Yes.
Keaton.
Yeah.
And
Yan ba yung
syempre,
galing Jollibee?
Jollibee. Okay. And JDM, continue.
Ayan, eto.
Oh,
Yan
the
syempre
Batmobile.
yung
Ang
Batmobile.
ganda niya, no?
Classic.
Si
diba?
Palis, meron kanyang Palits.
Mm-mm.
Ganda niya, yung
I'm sure.
Batmobile niya.
I'm sure. Mm-mm.
Ang laki
Ayan.
niyan eh.
So
Happy Meal lang
talagang
din yung-
yan. Pero
Ay, hindi
yun
yung
nga,
1-6 skill
gaya nga nun sa
Walang
yun, sa mga yung mga bootlegs, 'di ba? Kung gusto mo, kung nakakabigay ng nostalgic memories, ayan, kunin mo. Katulad nito ni Bulma, bootleg, pero pagka nakikita ko yung booty.
Booty leg pala.
Booty leg. Yeah, there you go.
Bootleg, ayan.
Buti
So,
leg,
it doesn't matter kung bootleg or yung the real deal. Basta yung nai-enjoy mo, bring back ng memories. Ayan.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
All right, good. And where can they find you?
Syempre, you can see me on Twitch, 123go Retro. And last night ako stream ako ulit just to make sure na may pa rin. May time pa rin tayo mag-live. So,
There
please
you
do check.
Excellent. All right. Next one.
Charger.
Let's do Sir Jepoy. Final remarks and where can they find you?
Ayun, sa mga toy enthusiasts and mga toy collectors. Yan, saludo ako sa inyo for collecting toys. Kasi ako wala akong, kahit isa, hindi ako nangolekta niya. Kasi not into collecting. I'm into playing. So, pag binigyan mo ako ng laruan, lalaruin ko lang yan.
Business kinokolekta mo.
Business kinokolekta.
Dami mong business,
the
tol.
Luigi one. The Luigi one. Nawala na si Mario, nabili na. Ayun.
Hindi, okay lang. Okay lang si Luigi sa'yo. Yan ang tumutulong sa'yo eh.
Tapos, streamers raid every Friday. So, mabibigat na yung guest ko eh. Medyo bigatin eh. Kaya, sa Friday, meron ulit streamer na I think galing ng RR. So, stream ko 10:30 p.m. every day. Oo. Ang content ko, basketball na lang. Puro basketball.
May pa-ending, boss.
Naumay ako dun sa mga naumay ako sa mga bagay, may God of War ako ngayon. Pero nandun pa rin tayo sa basketball.
Burahin ko yung God of War mo eh.
Kasi tatalunin ko pa yung kalbo dyan.
Okay.
Semi-kalbo na lang. Semi-kalbo.
Semi-kalbo.
Please.
All right.
Vegeta yan eh. Vegeta.
Excellent. Boss Jeff, where can they find you?
Ayan, Facebook and also on Twitch. Pero madalas sa Facebook. Everyday, 10:30 p.m. onwards.
Nice. Okay. Next one.
Right, thank you for that, Sir Jepoy. How about si Sir Jomar? Final words po in regarding with the topic and where they can find you.
Sa channel ko, Jomarot, pero good luck.
Nag-stream ka pa ba?
Ay, nagko-stream.
Ayun, well, about sa natin is collect nyo lang kung ano yung, of course, yung makaka-bring back ng memories nyo, tsaka yung kaya ng bulsa, syempre. Hindi naman natin pwedeng pilitin yan eh. Ako, I do collect, katulad nito, yan, yung mga dati ko at saka yung mga gusto kong balikan, katulad ng Voltes 5. Voltes 5 kino-collect ko siya dahil hindi ko mabili yung original, yung Godaikin. Masyadong mahal yun. Masyadong mahal. So, doon tayo sa susunod.
Nakita ko nung nakaraan, may Godaikin ka dyan eh.
Kahit mo yung Chicago Bulls Stadium.
May Bolton box ka dyan eh. Nung nakita ko nung nakarang stream eh.
Ito. Nandito siya eh. May bolt-in box.
Hindi na niya mabot. Okay. Sa dami.
Hindi kasi masyadong malaki.
Patingin muna. Bago mag-end. Patingin muna.
Daming box.
Uy, pakiano naman yung camera, pabago, para nakikita ko rin yung mga tao. Nakita ko rin kayo.
Nahihiya.
Nahihiya eh.
Bolton box!
Kasi nasa siya eh. Nasa brown box. Masyadong malaki. Hindi ko nilalabas. Yan o.
Yes.
Pamain na lang po. Pamain. DX1.
10K.
Pamain na lang po.
Yan ka na naman sa pamain-main mo ha. Magpaalam ka muna.
Ayan. The nice thing about the Bolton box is kasama niya yung Camp Big Falcon na playset.
Hell
So if
yes.
you open it up, you can actually assemble it in the Camp Big Falcon playset and display it like magkunyari ka na nandoon ka na getting them
That's
ready
why I
to launch.
want one.
Yes, there you go. Ayan, Jay, you've got a sale. Okay,
Ayun.
anyway.
Tapos, hindi ko alam ba't kumina bigla yung ano eh. Yung,
Okay.
yung
Yeah, anyway.
sa ano ko. And then, of course,
si
yung sa
Joaquin.
Transformers, sino ba yung pinaka ano natin? Hindi ko naman mabibili na yung G1. So, next best thing na lang is this one.
Yung which one is that one? Yung the one that transforms.
Robosen?
Nakalimutan ko yung ano. Robosen.
Alam nyo,
Oh,
ano
yeah.
yan eh, shameless ano eh. Hayop si
Shame-
Jomar eh.
Kaya nga, shameless plug nga. Eh, no? We're at the shameless plug
Ano
portion.
pangalan nun?
eh,
Misinformers.
Ano?
Ayan, the misinformers naman daw. Yun. Anyway, continue. Sige, Jomar. Finish it up.
Oh, yun lang.
Labang.
So, mapapansin nyo dito sa sa right ko is nandiyan yung mga legit, nandito naman sa left ko yung mga third party. So, pareho yung kinokolek ko. Which is,
Yes.
pag every time na umuwi ako galing trabaho, pagod ka, nakikita mo, bring back everything. Upo ka dito sa sala, na nare-replenish yung strength ko, tsaka yung saya ko.
Okay, that's good.
Yun lang.
All right, nice. Okay, now let's hop on over to Palitz. I'd like to hear from Palitz his final thoughts and where can they find you?
Yeah, so sa collecting naman, collect what you want. Don't oy, kamukha nga kita.
Teka.
Kamukha talaga kita, JDM eh. Magkamukha nga tayo, talagang mapagkakamalan tayong eh. Uy, panis. So, yeah,
Collect what you like.
Collect what you like, whatever it is. Kung nag-umpisa ka sa bootleg or fakes, who gives a fuck, right? So, so just continue. But for me, sa 80s, again, Voltron. That's what made the mark. Anything else? Closing remarks? Follow Timeless Gamers and PRG. Every one of them, great content all the time. And as always, for me, follow G3 Podcast if you want more geeky content as well. And if shameless plug naman, follow nyo din yung medyo anti-woke, gtfo.ph sa Facebook.
Nice.
Soon we will have on YouTube and Twitch. We will be multi-broadcasting. And ako ulit si Palitz, aka Charlie, yun yung alternate ko. Ayun lang. Yun lang naman, Tito Jo. Thank you sa PRG. Ha?
Nagbebenta ka ng content?
Bold.
Oh my gosh. Okay, sige. Now, let's hop on.
Thank you sa PRG and sa Timeless Gamers for inviting me
Yes,
on
thank
this
you, Ren.
podcast.
Thank you, Ren.
No,
I've really enjoyed it with the discussion and everything. I hope you guys, for all the viewers, to follow, promote, again, share the podcast. This will really help the podcast and,
yes.
let
May
everyone...
Voltes 5 pa tayo. May Voltes 5 pa tayo, Palitz.
Boss Jay, ikaw na bahala sa akin.
Ayan. And then,
Kung under, naman. Wala
since
akong
he's
problema.
passing it off, since Palitz is passing it off to Jet, let's hear from Jet. Come on.
Ayan, final thoughts. Collect what you want. Never forget yung feeling na sabi nga ni Michael B, yung maging bata. Kasi sa totoo lang, nung time na in-order namin itong mga laruan at display ko, para akong bumalik nung bata ako na dumadaan lang sa toy store na wala akong pambili. And yung motivation na mag-ipon para mabili ko yung gusto kong laruan. And now ako na yung nagbibenta ng laruan, which syempre ang akin lang din, whenever time na may customer na naging kwera sa akin na namamalan sila, syempre binibigyan ko rin sir ng option na kung ano yung afford nila. Kasi sa totoo lang, yung feeling ng pagkakaroon ng laruan is something special na hindi mo nakakalimutan yung kasiyahan sa mundo. sa mundo. Pero it's really something special for me. That kind of feeling. Never forget to be always serious sa buhay. Always always remember that there is time to play, time to be relax lang. Kung may problema kang pinagdadaanan, always remember na pagdaanan mo lang. Huwag mong tambay.
Laruin mo lang.
Laruin mo lang.
Very true.
Laruin mo lang.
Very true. All right,
Ayan,
now
so you will find me siguro pasundot-sundot na lang sa streaming from time to time kasi mostly focus sa Shuffle Emporium. Also, if you're into this kind of hobby, card games, toys, merchandise, please check out Shuffle Emporium. Nagki-cater kami ng iba't ibang figures from Banpresto, Bandai Namco, Mayfex, ano pa ba? Nandoroids, ayun. Marami pang iba. And tsaka card games din. One Piece, Pokemon, soon sana MTG, baka naman. And then Yu-Gi-Oh, yeah. That's it. Wala pang physical store, meron lang siya Shopee tsaka sa Facebook. Yan.
All right, excellent. Now let's hop on over to Raymond bago siya katayin ni Mara. I'd like to hear his final words bago siya ibitin ng patiwarik ni Mrs. Because of all his purchases. Sige, Raymond, come in.
Oy, yung dadalhin ko galing Dubai pala.
Laruan dito.
Meron akong dala dito galing Dubai, nadaling ko sa'yo.
Final thoughts, Raymond.
Next week, patay na.
Okay, yun nga. Final thoughts, Raymond. Where can they find you?
Kuya Mon, pasettle na lang yung in order mo.
Yung bill mo.
Patay tayo dito.
You know,
Ayan na.
Kumuha ng pangalo.
Kumuha ng itak. Kumuha na ng itak yan.
With regards sa 80s toys, guys, it's bring back memories nga. So, reminiscing, masaya, and then, yung the toy collecting, hanggang kayang bilhin, patay may pamalo sa likod.
Ingat-ingat.
So, hanggang kayang bilhin within your budget, and if you really like it, why not? Kasi, diyan mo malalaman, syempre, magiging masaya ka eh. The thing is, the enjoyment being, yun nga, sabi nga ni Je, sabi ni Michael GB, wag mong kalimutan maging bata for once.
Yes. Very
Kasi
true.
si Tito Jomar din, pag nakikita yung toys niya, nakakapawi ng ng parang pagod. Just like me, pag nakikita ko yung si G1 ni Preda King, tapos yung nabudol sa akin ni Notch, nakakabawi na.
Wow!
Kaya pala nagkabuhok ka.
Nakita ko yung
So,
mga
nakaka-release
messages
siya ng
mo.
tension.
Oo, nakakabata, kaya nagkabuhok ka eh, no?
So, yun nga. So, right now, you can catch me on my on our business page. It's called studio.ph. We're selling customized shirts, stickers, and so. With regards to streaming, wala man na tayo kasi I'm actually nag-aaral tayo for a bigger things. So, wala man tayong streaming, pero ayan, makikita nyo naman ako pasulpot-sulpot kung sakaling nag-i-stream kayo na pa-podcast kayo. So, yan. Studio.ph, guys. So, konting plug-in lang. This coming next Saturday, we're in Geek Pop a video game festival. It's in Ayala Mall, Circuit Makati, and PRG or Pinoy Retro Gaming will be having a Marvel vs. Capcom tournament. Kasado na siya. We already have 16 players doon. So they will compete for the name Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom champion. So kung may time kayo this coming Saturday, then this coming Saturday, Sunday, may free-to-play area pa rin naman tayo at day 1, free-to-play area, day 2 yung tournament. So, if you have time, guys, you can check us out. Makita nyo yung booth namin, makita nyo yung studio.ph, may booth din kasi yung studio.ph doon. Magsisell kami ng mga video-related stickers and shirts. So, kindly catch us, guys. So, maraming salamat. And, yun. Notch.
All right. Excellent. Ay, pinapasa na ni Raymond kay Notch. Sige, Notch.
Hold on. Before Notch.
Okay. Go ahead.
So, pa-plug ko lang din is yung Shuffle Emporium. Hindi ko pinlag kanina kasi I wanted Jay to do the honor to plugging it first. So, yun. So, pa-plug ko lang.
Ikaw na.
Support.
Actually, Ito
Yeah, okay.
ako yung
Ikaw na
magiging
mag-
ano nila.
Ikaw na kasi.
Si
Okay na, okay na, okay na ako. Okay na
Si
ako.
Jess at si John Marot are now owners ng Chapel Emporium.
Nice.
Ayan mo na, yan mo na.
Silang
Oh,
dalawa.
tapos na ako, yun lang. Inano ko lang.
Oh.
Ano.
Kaya parehas
Guys.
kami may Vault Inbox.
All right, and of course, we'll pass it off to Notch. Notch, final thoughts, and where can they find you?
Yan, Budol Japan. Sige.
Japan ka pa.
Oy, yung laruan mo dito. Ano na?
Ano ba? Hindi na ako makakawala rito.
Ha? Mapag-uwi mo dito, wala akong laruan ha.
Parang naalala ko, nakuha mo na yung Ken ah.
Nakatingin
Okay,
na sa akin dito. Tumigil na kayo.
Ako, I started collecting kasi sobrang hindi ko siya nakuha nung bata ko and I really want to play with them. No? And literally, ginagawa ko siya. So for everyone who is on the fence in collecting toys or yung mga collectors na talaga, tama si Michael V, no? Don't forget yung childhood nyo. We go home, we work, at sobrang busy natin minsan nakakalimutan natin. It also pays to be to bring out that inner child in you. So play video games, collect your toys, play with them, whatever, as long as nakaka-release siya ng stress and it's something that you enjoy. So kaya Je, damihan mo pa yung figure arts mo.
Yeah, there you
Oh.
go.
Actually, marami
Pati mga pics
yan.
mo. Pati
Mm.
Steam
Time up.
collectibles, nagdagan mo na. Tapos,
Okay.
you know,
Magsabi ka lang ha.
Yeah,
Hanapin natin
there you
yan.
go.
mag-usap tayo.
Kukunin
And of
yan.
course,
Kukunin
And of course, Notch,
namin.
May tingin sa likod, damihan mo yung mga pics mo.
you know. And of course, Notch,
Actually-
did you mention where they can find you already?
Yeah, you can find me here in Valenzuela.
Yes.
Please like
Ang ina.
G3, the G3 podcast,
Yes.
Facebook,
absolutely.
Instagram, YouTube. Pero bago nyo gawin yan, remember to support Pinoy Retro Gaming, support Timeless Gamer, support nyo sila guys kasi sabi nga nila, content, grabe. Ibang-iba talaga yung content nila. Sabi ko nga, full of laughter, sobrang craziness ng mga tao, and of course, knowledge na rin. No? So, like nyo yung PRG, then like nyo yung G3. Huwag nyo kakalimutan.
All right.
Tapos like nyo
excellent.
rin yung Tito Popoy's Burgers kasi Angus Burger talaga. Iba talaga yun.
Of course, of course.
I
That's
love you,
the
Notch.
May free porn yan pagka nag...
What?
Magpadala ka na doon, Jeff. Magpadala ka na sa Valenzuela,
Oh my gosh. All right. So I think that's everybody. I guess my final thoughts naman. Let's see. Again, the 80s were a time of amazing discoveries, enjoyment, lots of things na kinasiyahan natin. That's why to today, ganyan pa rin ang motto ko. Party like it's
Party like
1982. There you go. Party like it's 1982. Again, my thoughts are I don't just love the 80s. I live there. So, yun ang importante sa akin. Although it's very important for me to note na the 80s carries over into today. So, importante sa atin na magunita natin, hindi lang magunita, kundi buhayin yung ideals ng 80s. Everybody's cool, everybody's fun. There might be problems all throughout the world and in your personal life, pero wag mong kakalimutan na ang kasiyahan mo ng 80s ay kaya mo pa ring maatim at maranasan ngayon through your personal experiences, through the toys that you have. This is a reissuance of, not a reissuance, a remake of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Na
Ako,
lumabas
paborito
sa,
nila yan.
sa Netflix. Surprisingly good. Surprisingly good
Fuck that shit.
compared to no, not the
Fucking trash, Tito Joe.
not the Kevin
No
Smith
sugarcoat that
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, not the Kevin Smith one. The 3D CGI one was surprisingly
Yeah,
well
ganito naman
done.
siya.
Yun na nga, the 3D CGI one was yeah, I mean, but then compared to the original, can't possibly compare. And of course, directive ni Mrs. kailangan ipakita pa rin yung mga Care Bear. Importante sa kanya. Yeah, we're missing one kasi it's on our table right now. We're missing the one Care Bear. Pero importante sa kanya na ipakita rin yung Care Bears because they foster good relations, they foster good feelings with everybody. And for her, it's not just being nice and kind. She can also kick ass. Of course, She-Ra. Right
Yun,
there.
ang
You know,
ganda
so,
niyan!
Hell yes!
okay, She-Ra, of course, She-Ra, Princess of Power. Oopsie daisy, natalaglag si She-Ra. There you go.
She-Man yung kinabutan ko, si
Nalaglag.
She-Man.
Joey
Yun,
Dilet,
guy.
di ba?
Yun, guy.
Narip
She's also-
nila
she's also
Sinisilipan
part
ni
of
Tito
ano.
Joel si Shira.
There you go. She's also part of part of the landscape of the 80s. Importante na laglag I'll have to reassemble this later. Pero yun, ang importante nga kasi sa atin bilang children of the 80s, enjoyers of the 80s is the fact na you should be happy with what you do. Kahit na may problema, kahit na may lumabas na problema, kakayanin mo yan. Nakayanan natin yung mga unang panahon na yun. Kakayanin natin yan ngayon. Kakayanin natin yan in the future. And that's my take on it. You can find me in twitch.tv under Banyaga Native, and kick.com under Banyaga Native, #FUFB. And we're very, very happy that you stuck around with us all the way to the very end. On to Gem RPG. Joe.
I love you, Gem.
Anong
Gem.
kulay? Pakita mo na yung kulay bago mag-end.
Yun na nga. Kailangan ipakita natin. Joe.
Anong kulay?
Anong kulay?
Ba ma-sensor, ma-take down.
Nga
Take
Up,
down
there you go.
tayo.
Up na I think he's
Pakita mo yung
I think he's
kulay.
I think he's
Ay, nawala,
experiencing
wala.
some technical difficulties
Nawala.
on his part.
Tinanggal na,
Antayin
papakita
lang
na.
natin ng konti.
Papakita na.
Pero
May,
yun na nga.
may wardrobe malfunction ata.
Wardrobe malfunction. Hindi, yun na nga.
Pakita na teaser pala yun. No?
Tanggal yung nipple
Yan na, yan na,
tape.
yan na.
Ayan, Joe. Gem.
Yan.
Go
Tanggalin
ahead.
mo na yung nipple tape.
So final remarks for the show before close. So the way I see it with most toys of the 80s and even in the early 90s, the toys that as kids were dictated by whatever cartoons were being produced by the toy companies at the time. That was the fad, and that was a fad back then, and even now that still rings true today. And in terms of collecting the said toys, yes, very materialistic, right? And can be considered juvenile by other people. But this is no different from any other hobbies out there. By buying these toys that we have, that we were not able to get back then, the memories that we inject into these toys makes them even more priceless, no? And it takes us back to a period that no one else could take away, whether the toys get lost or wither by slow decay of time. The toys that we know now may be trivial, juvenile, but they still help shape the people who we are today. To some extent, they even taught us the virtues of what a decent human being should. They taught us lessons with the shows. We associate the toys with the cartoons and the virtues that being taught by us. We may forget them every now and then, but we always remember that the nostalgia that they bring is still real, right? And if the toy resembles everything about what we know from those cartoons and those toy commercials, it still builds the hype and the expectations until we hold them ourselves and then determine if the cost of acquiring them are all worth it or not. And yeah, that's the show, guys. And thank you all so much to to all of the awesome panel.
Actually,
Thank
no.
you.
Before
Very
we
good.
finish up, I was
The very good
saying,
exchange of ideas and points of view in regarding with the 80s toys.
actually, Joe, if I can interject,
Yes.
you said that until such time that we can hold on to them, or until such time that we become them, like in your case.
We become them.
Yeah, pero in this
Wait.
case, yun na nga, as a tribute to Joe and pinilit ni Mrs. ipakita, it's Gem, and of course that's how Joe is right now. There you go. So
Yes.
that's Joe, Jerica. Very important na
Jerica
maipakita natin.
Benten.
Yes, very very important na again, it's we love the 80s because it all means so much to us, and nobody
That's true.
nobody should be put down just to bring somebody else up. We can all be equally as happy together. Yan. Joe, take us away.
All right. So don't let others tell you otherwise. And all of
Oopsie daisy.
the panel, to all of the panel here in Timeless Gamer, and with our special guests, Sir Lee and Sir Nosh from G3, and all
you,
of the
guys.
PRG members and all of the panel from of Timeless Gamer who cannot be here. Our games on our bodies may grow out of date, but our gaming experiences will forever remain. Hey,
Timeless. All
I love
right.
you,
Thanks
Lord.
very
I love
much,
you,
everybody.
I
Yeah.
love
Thanks
you.
very much,
Let's go.
everybody. Very happy that you guys are around. See you guys again next.